anyone who's like, that's your stance, global warming, and I get it. But melting ice caps would make it cool, and then global warming doesn't exist because you're cooling off the world. Just Trish, it's a Just Trish. We are back and we're here to spill the food on the dish instead of tea. Although it could be spill the tea because my name is Trish. I could be spill the tea, but there's too many spill the teas.
I like food on the dish.
Spill the food on the dish.
I haven't heard that one before. It's a new take.
You.
That's good.
How often do you think about food?
Too often.
Do you? Like,
yes,
for real?
For real.
What is, like, are you thinking of it every hour or every couple hours?
I'm very extreme. I'm either going through a hard time or a great time. In either of those situations, I'm thinking about food. Like,
always.
We're celebrating with food. We're mourning with food. We're coping with food.
Yes.
We're happy with,
Yeah.
It all goes back to that.
Would you say it's like a daily thing? Like, do you think of the day, like, what am I eating throughout the whole day? Do you have your meals planned?
Yeah. No, I don't have them planned, but like, I think about it.
Like, you think about, okay, am I going to have a small lunch and a big dinner?
Yes, very that. Although, so I just came back from vacation and it made me realize that, like, we need to get serious. Like, I'm like, okay, I'm going to eat while I'm here, but when I get back, we're hitting the ground running, girl, because...
Really? Why?
Yeah,
Oh, because, right.
I just felt like big. I was big boned.
Where did you go? Where are they so skinny?
I was like, mostly like beaches and stuff.
Right.
And my boyfriend is like, we went with my boyfriend, his friend, and his friend's mom, and they're all like so petite.
Wait, what? Wait, why? Why did you guys go?
It's like our annual thing. I don't know why. We like
with his friend and his friend's mom?
Yes.
Oh, that's
because
so
they're like
random.
they're dolls. They're dolls. They're girlies. They get it. Yeah.
Who's like the leader in charge?
I guess me by default.
Okay, so you make the reservations.
Yes.
You get people places.
Yeah,
okay.
And I'm like the driver, but
you drive when you're on vacation?
Yeah, I was driving. I was like,
what a flex. That means you have good credit. Because I can't rent a car. My credit is so bad. I'm trying to fix it. I don't know
if it's that hard to rent a car. But,
it's so hard. I've never been able to.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I've gone to places and tried to rent a car and like I can't.
Really?
I don't know why. I must have really bad credit. I say I'm trying to fix it. I have no idea how to fix it though. I don't know. Maybe I don't have bad credit. We actually haven't looked in a while. Maybe I have okay credit.
I did keep getting emails that I keep forgetting to set up automatic payments on one card, and they were emailing me the whole time I was on vacation. I'm like, girl, I'm on vacation. Yes. I'm like, get a live synchrony bank.
Yes.
Like,
when they
on.
call you the 1-800 numbers.
Yes. And I'm like, can you please give me some space? Like, I just need a second.
Block.
Yeah.
I wonder if you can block that. I guess they call you from, sometimes they trick you. They try to call you from like your area code, like 310 or something. Yeah.
Shady.
Yeah. And I was just like, no, I don't pick up any phone number ever. Like, even if I know someone, I don't pick up. But I just, especially no numbers, I don't pick up.
Same. I'm really bad at like answering calls and text messages and DM. Everything basically.
Yeah, no, you're pretty good. You answer mine.
Yeah, there's like people that I'm like, I'm on it.
Yeah,
and then the other one I'm like, okay, I can respond later. And then I forget to respond. Yeah. The ADHD is like, it's bad.
Yours I always see. But I'm not going to lie, I get anxiety with everyone who pops up.
Yes, me too.
Like when you pop up, I'm just like, that's why this morning I did a group chat with Moses. I'm like, maybe ask Moses because I get like weird anxiety and nothing. You're just like, oh, I don't know. My printer doesn't work. Should I print it out there? I have no idea. I start freaking out. Yeah, I was like, well, on one hand, I don't want to tell you to go to UPS, but on the other hand, I don't know if ours work. I've never printed a thing out in my entire life. Like, no idea. We rarely print out. We went to FedEx the other day for like passport paperwork or something like that, and I was just like, I don't know. I know, it's so funny because I also was getting anxious. I was like, oh my God, like let me text her right now. My printer isn't working. I was like panicked down boost. Oh my God, why are you panicked? Because we're so chill.
I'm kind of like you. We're too light because I get very anxious when I'm a little late.
Right.
So we said we're gonna be 10, and then I was like running like 15 minutes late already, and then my printer wasn't working. I'm like, great, it's gonna be 10:30. I was like, oh my God.
Well, we're starting early today. Usually we do later.
Yeah, we're
trying to flip flop it. We're trying to maybe, guys, let us know what you think. I love doing Hot Topics fresh off the weekend, but sometimes like you don't like you get here later in the afternoon on the Mondays. Like it's this whole thing where I want to switch, but I also like I love this routine right now. But it's good when you're early. But then I'm like, I don't know, it's so complicated. You're so booked and busy.
I know we have to figure it out. But
I know it's
also funny because maybe we have to do like 2 Hot Topics a week though, because I feel like midweek is like there's new tea that comes out.
But that's,
you know,
that's what we were saying last time. Is like I feel like we do this podcast, it comes out Tuesday, and then like all the tea spills, and it's like by the time even the stuff we have now, I have like Jeannie Mai and Jeezy, and I was just like, okay, that's like 2 weeks ago. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I want to talk about it because it's all over my TikTok
and of
page.
course,
so.
the second we post, and it's always like someone we talk about in that episode, new stuff comes out about them, and then we're like, oh.
Yeah, we're going to talk about Joe Jonas, and then probably something else will happen by the time this comes out tomorrow. It's like we need to do it quicker, but it's crazy.
Yeah. Did you know, by the way, you were like already number like on the Spotify Hot 100.
I know, we broke. I was at 9. Someone saw it at 93. I saw it at 99.
Yeah. So we are at the top 90. But then this morning I checked and there's a category for comedy and there's only 50 podcasts in the comedy and we're 32.
Same on Apple,
yes.
though.
Oh, wait, really?
Yeah, you were like in the top 30 for Apple in the comedy.
Did you screenshot it?
Yeah, someone on Reddit screenshotted it.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. Oh my God, that's so exciting. We screenshotted at 99 and we screenshotted at 35. Oh my God, this is so exciting. How do we get to number 1? Like, what do they need to do?
I know. Joe Rogan just got dethroned by Alex Earl, I think, yesterday.
Which is crazy. I love Alex Earl, but...
So I think if she can do it, then there's hope for us.
But don't you think because she's with Alex Cooper's...
Yeah,
they promote it.
Yeah, but we're also on the Just Trish network, and if the Just Trish network can, if anyone can do it, grassroots.
We're by ourselves. Do you see? There's always people with like Theo Von with whatever company he's with. Like everyone has their companies, and it's just like Just Trish with Trisha Paytas. And like literally, I don't know how we got to the charts. We have literally, I don't know. I have no idea. Yeah, I think it's amazing. But I was like, what the heck?
I kept having like weird stress dreams on vacation. One was that today I had a dream that Donny Osmond was going to be the co-host for today.
No.
Yes, and I was like, why didn't she tell me Donny Osmond was going to co-host?
He's like the filler in.
Yeah, it was like you two, and it was just hot topics with all of us plus Donny. And I was like, why didn't she tell me?
Oh,
and the other one was we had like a whole writer's room. Like
no way.
Yeah, and I was like, why do we have such a big writer? But then they went on strike. They went on strike in my dream, and I was like,
oh
it was
my
wild.
gosh.
Yeah.
Could you imagine having a writer's room?
For us, that'd be crazy.
That would be crazy.
Yeah.
But it's like, okay, I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. I'm probably so ignorant at this, so please don't come for me. But like, how would we incorporate, like, okay, we just talk so much.
Yeah.
What do the writers do? And I'm not trying to be mean. Like, for like a show like this, like talk shows, what do they do?
They have writers. Like, all the talk shows really have writers. I think they give them like some jokes and stuff. And also they help with like the format. I think, like, even RuPaul, you know, in Drag Race, when RuPaul has this little, like, one line, like, those are all rewritten.
Obvious. Those are always, like, you can always tell they're, like, voiceovers, like, when people come down the runway and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, you can always tell, yeah.
And, like, The View, that's why The View is able to go without them, because they're all, for the most part, comedians and can write their own stuff. But, like, you know, the people who aren't, like, I guess, naturally comedic, they have
But it's
writers.
not even about writing. Like, you're just talking, right? Like, does Drew Barrymore have the jokes? I don't know.
I think she's got to have, like, little quips and stuff like that,
No
right?
way. So someone gives them to her?
I guess so, because she had 3 writers on her show.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I would love to be on RuPaul's Drag Race where they like announce the guest judge and they're always like, Ru, like what would my line be? You're a writer, right? What would be my I'm not either. Okay. Mine would be like, and they're like, and our guest judge, Trisha Paytas, and I'll be like, hey Ru.
Hey, Ru, you look good enough to eat. Ooh, girl, you want to have a mukbang later? Something like that. It would be like something.
Ru would not like that. Ru would be like, what? I'll be like, Ru, you're so pretty. It's like looking into a mirror. I don't know, something. Anyways, we'll work on it.
We'll work on it.
Oh, man. Yeah, well, we don't have writers, but that's okay. I like keeping it small.
I know, it is fun. We really feel like grassroots. And then when we win, it's like a victory because it's a small group.
Oh, my God. It's just us 3.
It's just us, yeah.
That would be everything. Do you have to get it submitted to, like, Emmys? Do you have to get submitted to, like, a daytime Emmy, or do they just, like, nominate?
I think you have to submit, and then they choose the nominees from the people who've submitted.
But you have to be on TV.
I think there's a digital category, actually.
I would love to.
I'm pretty sure there's a digital category. Something in that. Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Maybe there's worth to look into it. Yeah.
Where's your Emmy? You always forget
I have to bring it. I keep forgetting.
Are you scared to leave it here?
No.
I guess you can take it back and forth. I don't know. I guess it's like one of those things where I'm like, I guess I'd want it in my house. I don't know all the time. Do you have it displayed?
It's just on my dresser.
Oh, okay.
So I move it whenever I have like Zooms or something. Like I'll move it into like my background to like, you know. But then no one really sees it. Because my first Zoom with you, when we talked about it, I moved it to the background. But I don't think you saw it.
Really?
Yeah.
I never pay attention. I hate Zooms. I hate Zooms. So I never like look. I just don't look at people. I look at myself because I don't like to look at anyone. Like I just hate Zooms. I hate a Zoom too. I hate phone calls. I hate Zooms. I hate all of it.
The only thing I like is that they have the little filter that like smooths you out on stuff, so I do appreciate that. Yeah.
Is it automatically on? Or
you have to like select it.
Oh, I should do that.
That's tea. It is tea.
Well, I always put like a window behind me, so I'm like backlit. Because I don't want it to be like too full on, you know?
I just noticed the Hello Kitty lunchbox back there too. Oh my God. And the Just Trish, I'm like just realizing the set today.
The Just Trish water, which they can't be for sale because they don't have a barcode. And I guess it's also something you can't ship water.
Oh.
I don't know.
I don't know.
We're going to make cups and water bottles.
Yeah, we have cups. This
like,
is more for guests.
Water.
Yeah, I feel like if guests come and they want, when you want to show what you're doing on the day on Instagram stories or something,
yeah,
you know.
It's fun.
I just actually love labeled water. I did it for Sad Boy. Like, I just love personalized water. I think it's so
How do
like
you even
Y2K.
get personalized water?
It's actually so easy.
Really?
It's so easy. Like, yeah, there's a company specifically here that just like puts your you can get Oscar water.
That is so refreshing.
It's good, right?
Yeah.
It has like electrolytes in it. I have mine over here, like. It's actually really good. We had this in Sad Boy version, and it was like alkaline pH 9.0.
Love that.
pH, Paytas Heckman. It's like us.
That's what I'm saying.
I love it. I just love a custom anything. In the Hello Kitty, there's no really rhyme or reason to the set today. It was just, I'm
also in a Hello Kitty era randomly.
Oh, well, I feel like everyone kind of is right now.
It just started the little drawings kept popping up on my like Twitter For You page, and I'm like, wow, these are the cutest things I've ever seen. And now I'm like kind of obsessed. Yeah, not with Hello Kitty herself, no offense, but like the little family
like who?
that go into it. The little one with the white ears, Cinema Roll.
Okay, you know. Okay.
Yes.
Whenever people say they like Sanrio, not Hello Kitty, I'm like, name another Sanrio.
I like Karopi a lot too.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Okay, you know. Bad Maru.
I know like the core.
Yeah, same.
And they're just so sweet. Now I'm like,
My
I'm
Melody.
kind of all in. Yeah.
I like the style. I used to live for Hello Kitty, but I don't know. Then I was like, let me just like grow up a little bit. I don't know. Hello Kitty's cute. But I think it's like if you're in your 20s. Did you see that you're not allowed to buy tickets to Olivia Rodrigo?
Because I'm too old?
Yeah, did you see that Twitter?
I did see that. Yeah.
Or was it a tweet or TikTok?
I saw it on Twitter.
I saw it on Twitter. But
by a little twink. Listen, first of all, I couldn't even I was waitlisted. Me and my boyfriend were both waitlisted, which I have like.
Because you're too old?
No.
Why?
Because you have to like apply, and then they randomly select who like gets to buy the tickets. It is so problematic. Ticketmaster, I'm on your ass.
Wait,
yes.
wow. What do you mean?
Ticketmaster said there's more fans trying to buy tickets than tickets available.
Okay.
So you have to like select the one day. You pick one day that you want tickets to buy, and then you get drawn like out of a lottery to like get the chance to buy tickets. So there's steps upon steps. There's some gatekeeping going on.
That sounds crazy. Yeah, it sounds a little.
I'm like...
Wait, where is she playing?
The Forum here.
So why doesn't she go play Sophie and then everyone can go?
I know. That's what I'm saying. She's doing like 4 nights at the Forum. Might as well just take it over to Sophie at that point. Which, I don't know.
That's crazy.
But it's like one of those things where like, I'm going to be there. That's my niece. That's my goddaughter. My sister's best friend.
What? What does that mean? Niece?
Like she's not mother, like because she's so little.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's my niece.
Okay, I like that. Okay, cute.
Olivia's my niece. I'm gonna be there.
Does mother mean you're old?
Mother is. It's like weird because she's like 10 years younger than me, so I can't call her mother. You know.
Right.
So that's like Taylor Swift, mother down, mother convention.
Wait, how old is she?
Taylor's 33.
Oh my God.
33, 34.
I always think of her as just like 18 forever. Or what's 22 or whatever.
No, that's a woman. Yeah, that's definitely a woman.
Wow.
But yeah, so Taylor's mother, but Olivia's my niece. And I'm going to be there. Like, you can't keep me out of the Forum for Olivia. Like, she's the only, like, her and Taylor are the only people I listen to. Like,
that's crazy.
I'm going to be there.
But would you spend $1,000 on like StubHub?
Not 1,000. I usually...
You wouldn't?
No, that's a little like...
I guess she's not that goddaughter.
Usually,
she's more the stepchild to you now. She's like...
I think I'll wait till like the day before. Well, now Ticketmaster's doing a policy where you can't even like sell the tickets until like 72 hours before the date to try to stop resellers. I don't know. I just know I'm going to be there regardless. Like, no one's going to keep me out of the Forum for Olivia. I'm going to be there.
You're going to be... When is it?
Yeah. It's not until, I think, June or something. It's like summer of next year. So we have some time.
Yeah. Do you ever feel like lucky that you can't get pregnant?
Lucky that I can't get pregnant?
Okay, so like when I got pregnant, I was like so happy, but then I missed all the My Chemical Romance dates because I was 9 months in. So you're planning to go to Olivia Rodrigo in June. So are you ever like, oh, thank God I don't have to worry about like my period or getting pregnant and not going?
Not about that. I'm happy that I can't get pregnant just because, like, I don't know. It seems stressful and, like, a lot of work. So in that sense, not really for events, I guess. But although at the Taylor Swift concert, I do see a lot of, pregnant mothers who look like they could, like give birth. Yeah. And I was like,
because when you see it is when they're like about to go, you know?
And I'm like, that would be me. Like, you couldn't stop me from going until like I was really just like on the doorstep of, you know, giving birth. But yeah, I'm happy that I can, just because it seems like a lot of work and it seems hard. But like having a baby as a gay person is also like so complicated. So I wish that like my boyfriend could have a baby in that sense. You know?
Don't cancel me. Oh my God. But did she just ask a gay man? He's like, he can't get pregnant. I just meant for planning purposes. But yeah.
Definitely for planning purposes, yeah. Because then it would be... Well, then if I would plan it. Like if I knew that I would be too close, I would go to like a different date around. Like she's doing Palm Springs in February, so I would just do Palm Springs.
Oh, that's smart. I should have planned it better.
Yeah, I would
My
just
Chemical
go
Romance
around.
was only here in the U.S. August, September, and I was due in September. And so I was also getting sick all the time when I was pregnant. So I was like, I didn't want to go to like a concert.
Yeah.
And then they were here like 2 weeks after I gave birth. And so I was like, do I go? Do I not? And, you know, that was the dilemma. So I was like, well,
especially your first one. Like that's like, you want to be like, I feel like you were extra. And it was like post-COVID and stuff. So you were like extra cautious. So.
But I think about that now. I'm like, what if, okay, so the writer strike has been happening and the actor strike. And so White Lotus 3 has been like postponed. But I always think like, what if they want me on White Lotus 3, but I'm like 9 months pregnant and I can't travel to Thailand?
Oh,
you know?
Yeah.
So I was kind of postponing, like waiting to see if I get casted for White Lotus 3, but I'm just like, but like I'll probably get pregnant when I'm like waiting or they'll probably ask, here's how I see it. They'll probably ask me to be in White Lotus 3, be like, you can come to Thailand in June. And I'll be like, great. But then I'll be pregnant and I'll be like, I wanted this pregnancy so bad.
But
and now
I think they would write you for like the next season. Because I feel like that's happened before.
But that's so far away. Like it takes them like 2 years to do a season.
That's true, yeah. But I mean...
I could have my baby in Thailand. I thought about that too. Like if they could write me as 9 months pregnant and have my baby over there. That's the only thing I could think of.
I just saw a show with Kaylee Cuoco. You know, that girl from Big Bang Theory.
Oh my God. Where has she been? I used to love her.
She was really pregnant and like...
The commercials?
In this show that I was watching, she was pregnant. But I think and she was pregnant in real life. So I think they wrote that as like her plot in the show that she was also pregnant. So they could definitely do that for you
well, she's Kaylee Cuoco. She's been on TV.
Yeah, but you're Trisha. Like you could definitely.
Oh, I know. I would love to. Like I don't know why that's always been my dream, just to be on like White Lotus. Because I love. Did you ever watch that? Or
yeah,
like,
of course.
Oh, you did. Because I thought you were like not into like you didn't watch the Elvis movie. Like I thought you just didn't like love that kind of stuff.
I don't know. Like dramas, I have a hard time with. Like
what?
Like Elvis.
Okay, like a long movie. yeah.
Oppenheimer. Like anything that's like long, dramatic, and.
Did you see Oppenheimer? Did you see it?
Oh no, see it?
Sorry,
no.
Did you know Josh Peck was in it? So random.
I heard about that. I heard he was
like. Who was he?
I have no idea. But I kept seeing tweets about like how it kind of like broke the being in the movie because all of a sudden like there's Josh.
Oh, it was bad.
Just like random, I think. So
no,
it's
very random. Not to say he's a bad actor, but you just know him from Drake and Josh. So I'm like, does he act like Josh from Drake and Josh,
or is he like an actor?
Well,
yeah,
obviously.
Yeah, it was a period piece, so he definitely couldn't be like.
Oh my God, that is so. Anyways, that's so random. I never saw Oppenheimer either.
I can't. It's 3 hours. It's like it's too long.
Yeah. Long movies are hard.
It sounds like it's so stereotypical, but I don't care. Like I just have to like. There needs to be a doll. Like it has to be doll coded. It has to be girl. Like there has to be a girly element to it, or at least a girl to root for in it for me to like be invested. Just because like I don't care about men's story. I'm like that Reese Witherspoon meme where it's like women's stories matter. They just matter. Like
what is that from?
She was on like The View or something.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm the same way. I used to be opposite. I used to be very much just like all about like men. What were we watching? Oh, I always talk about Home Improvement, but she's like, there's only one woman on that show, and it's like 3 boys. The neighbor is a guy. She has the 2 hosts of Tool Time. Like she's the only woman, and so I was like, God, that would be my dream. I was like, why? I'm like, because I'm the only girl, and then by default, you're just like, you know what I mean? I used to be like that, but now that I'm getting older, I'm like, oh, it would be so much fun to be on like Desperate Housewives or you know, like one of those shows. I think.
Like a female ensemble. I love that. Yeah.
I love a female ensemble. Like I tend to like gravitate towards those. Like I don't know. Although I don't know, maybe not. I love Only Murders. I guess that's mostly men based. I don't know.
But there's the downside of like female ensembles. Did you see like the Emma Roberts American Horror Story?
Yes.
That came out with like Angelica Ross.
I don't like live for a Ryan Murphy show.
It's always like the earlier seasons of a Ryan Murphy project I like. Like the first few seasons of American Horror Story, Love Down. The first few seasons of Glee.
You liked it?
I was a Glee.
So problematic.
Looking back, I was like, what the hell was I watching? But it's the same with like all those shows from like the 2010s. Like I was rewatching Pretty Little Liars on the
Is that
plane.
Ryan Murphy?
No, unrelated. But it was like the teenage girl is having a relationship with her teacher. And I remember like watching it in the 2010s, living for it. Like, oh, like I wish I could be like her, you know, like, and now I'm like, what the hell were they feeding us?
No,
You know?
that's what I always say too. I always think those things are like, that's what I always say with age you get it. You know, we're talking about the JoJo Siwa thing or whatever. And it's just like, yeah, 20, I thought it was like so cool too to be like, yeah, I like hooked up with my teacher when I was like 14 or something. And then you're just like, oh my God, that's like so messed up. But you like don't see it. And because like you said, like I never saw Pretty Little Liars, which is like sounds crazy that they would do that so recent. But I would watch stuff like, you know, Great Balls of Fire, where Jerry Lee Lewis marries his cousin who's like 13 and he's like 22, and I was just like, oh, that's cool or whatever. You know what I mean? And granted, that's a real story, but when like fake stories have that plot line. Like there's another one, I haven't seen it, but it looks wild on TikTok called Secret Life of an American Teenager.
That show is crazy.
Okay, I'm like, who is writing this or who is letting this out? Like this is so problematic.
It was around the same era as Pretty Little Liars, kind of. And yeah, that was another one that was like, I remember liking it as when I was living in it, you know, like when it was coming out, like liking it. And then looking back, I was like, what the hell is going on?
It's crazy. Yeah.
All those shows are so crazy.
Like who wrote these? I don't know. But American Horror Story, I'd only watch a season because I love Kim Kardashian.
Yeah,
so.
and I heard she's pretty good. I mean, it's kind of like if you hate her, you're not gonna like it. But if you are either like neutral or like her, you'll be into it.
I think she's also like somewhat playing herself, right? Like she's kind of like her Kris Jenner type, and it's like she's meant for this role because it's like Hollywood elite and all that stuff like that. So. It makes sense.
But with Emma Roberts, so I guess an actress that worked with her on American Horror Story in a different season, who is a transgender woman, said that Emma was like super like transphobic.
I saw. Yeah. Did Emma respond?
She like reached out to Angelica Ross privately, like once the stuff came out, and then Angelica Ross told everyone that, you know, she had to reach out and issued an apology. But she also like challenged her like to be more of an ally by actions instead of words, because Emma was like, oh, like, no, I'm an ally. Like, I see what you do and I love it, blah, blah, blah. And Angelica responded like, girl, then you can't just claim to be an ally. You got to actually, you know, put the work in.
Right.
So as much as I love like all female ensembles too, it's like sometimes when the wrong girlies get together, it can also be a recipe for a disaster.
Isn't that interesting? Which is, like, you don't want it to be true, but it's like also why would she make it up? You know what I mean?
And I believe, because I mean, there's been like stories about Emma Roberts for so long, and I feel like was problematic too, because like even when this Angelica Ross was explaining how Emma was like problematic and transphobic on American Horror Story, people were like, oh, well, she's Chanel and Scream Queens, like she was just being in character.
But
and
it's like, girl, this is American Horror Story. She's not.
We can all just give her a pass because she was cunty in one show. Like we gotta like, you know.
She was just like, what is it called? Method acting. Like that's crazy. No, but it's so crazy to me. Like the actual thing she said where she's like, don't you mean one lady? Like who would ever say that? Like that to me is like, again, I believe her, of course, but it's like so bizarre like that anybody would say this, much less someone that's like a celebrity. And she's been a celebrity for a long time. Like Emma Roberts has been like famous.
Baby, so,
she was on that like kind of Zoe 101 show.
Fabulous.
Oh, yeah, that's right. So she's been around. She knows. So it's like even like Leah Michelle and stuff. And I'm like, which obviously was true because I think Leah admitted to right. She said
she apologized.
Yeah. So it's so bizarre to me because it's like who would ever say that anyways to another human? But this is like your show. You're the star of like what? Like
especially like he would think that like a Ryan Murphy production like would at least be like super inclusive and supportive of like LGBT in general, and you would think that the production would kind of go out of their way to stand up for like the trans woman that they hired, because Ryan has like helped give so many trans people, you know, careers, whether like on Pose on FX or American Horror Story or
he did those movies. Pose,
he did Pose. He did Pose.
I liked Pose.
He had like trans people on Glee, he had trans people on American Horror Story. So
who was trans on Glee?
I forgot her name.
Later on.
Yeah, it was later. It was like the later season, like 3 or 4.
Does he write them? I guess it doesn't matter. But do they? Okay, like I love Hari Nef, for instance. I love that she like just plays Barbie, you know what I mean? Yeah. And it's not like trans Barbie, you know what I mean? Does like Ryan Murphy, does he write him in as like, was she written as a trans character or?
I didn't watch that season of American Horror Story, so I'm not sure. Well, obviously for Pose, like that's what the show was about.
Yeah, of course,
you know? In Glee, I think they were just trans like I don't remember the transition being a part of the storyline. I just remember like a trans actor being in Glee. Yeah. So I think it like kind of varies. So that's why you would kind of think that like that kind of production would, you know, protect their
maybe
talent,
they didn't know, or did they know? I don't know the full story.
She said Angelica said like this happened like on set with like in the middle of like filming, you know, so it's like, but it's also you know, when you're the star in the show, I feel like you know people let things go,
and it is such an awkward thing. If someone said that, I'd be like, I don't don't know. Like, it's so awkward. You would be like, are you trying to make a joke? Like, I don't know. Yikes.
I don't know. And then there was that video of Emma Roberts. Did you see her when she was like at a bookstore and Bill Clinton was there? It was a couple weeks ago.
Like
and she told us the Secret Service guy, move.
No, I didn't. Yeah.
She was.
Yeah, she's like.
She's a little.
She just looks not nice. I don't know. That's like there's nothing about her that I'm like, I want to be her friend.
And she doesn't seem like a girl's girl.
Definitely not a girl's girl.
So when she's on like the all-female ensemble, I have my eyebrows a little raised. I'm like, oh, like Scream Queens, which when like Curly, Michelle, Ariana Grande.
Oh, what a nightmare.
I'm like,
I mean, who would want to be on that cast?
And Jamie Lee Curtis, like that's a recipe for disaster.
I mean, I guess guy like Keke Palmer, she was on that.
Yeah, girl's girl. Like
Keke
if she's on the ensemble,
girl.
I'm excited.
I love her. Yeah, that's pretty wild. I would love to have gone to the Kardashian baby shower yesterday. Did you see that?
No, wait, who?
What? Kourtney's baby shower was Disney.
You know, I was not invited to Kourtney's baby shower.
Oh my God, it was Disneyland themed. I want to go so bad. I know I probably won't be invited to theirs, but I wanted to go. God, their parties look so great. It looks so amazing.
I know my cousin goes to the same school as them, and I'm always like, girl, like let me volunteer at the school because they're very.
Are you a Kardashian stan though, or no?
I'm a selective Kardashian stan. Like
no Kendall,
I pick
no
and
Kourtney.
choose. No Kendall, no Kourtney. Everyone else. Khloe, I'm like on the fence. Everyone else.
Really? But everyone rides for Khloe. Why are you on the fence with her?
Everyone does. You ride for Khloe, not everyone.
Yeah. Wait, why do people don't like Khloe?
She's a little annoying, and
Chloe is the least annoying.
Once the Jordan Woods stuff came out, she just wasn't a girl's girl. When you have to be a girl's girl for me to like really ride for you.
I get you.
Yeah,
Wait, do you think I'm a girl's girl?
I think you previously. I don't think you were.
Really?
Yeah,
did it come across that way? Because I've always had girl followers. Like I've always had a girl fan base.
You were always girl and gay followers.
Yeah,
but
did I come across not a girl's girl though?
No, I think you were probably. I think you were more critical of girls in the past. Like I'm talking like a long time ago.
Right. Definitely true.
Yeah, and I think now
celebrity girls. I was never in real life. I'm never like
no
girl.
Exactly. I think just in general, like you're thinking of like celebrities or like influencers or whatever. I think you're more critical of them.
I was way harder on girls for sure.
But now I think you're way harder on men. Now
I can't stand men at all. I saw a TikTok of like my husband never has to worry about me cheating because like you barely made the cut as a man. And that's true. Like I really do like hate all men.
Yeah.
Period. Except for gay men.
Yeah. Even some.
Well, yeah. Even then, I was going with an all female.
The twink who said I was too old for Olivia Rodrigo. We have beef.
Has he anybody or he just okay? I didn't know he was like a TikToker or something like that.
I just saw his little icon on Twitter.
Oh my gosh.
We have beef.
I know. I couldn't believe he said that. He's like, if you were born after this year, like you can't buy tickets. It's not for you. He's like, go see Pink or Kelly Clarkson. But accurate. I was like, yeah, that's probably true.
That was a good read. But you can't keep me out of an Olivia Rodrigo concert.
How old is Olivia Rodrigo?
She's 20, I think. She's young.
And she had her start in High School Musical, the series.
Yeah, or Bizarre Vark First, which is the Disney Channel show. Jake Paul, ironically.
That's crazy.
Yeah. It's crazy. I can't believe they let Jake Paul on Disney Channel back then.
That's crazy too, because even back then, he wasn't like Disney.
Yeah, he was still kind of like controversial back then, no?
Yeah, I guess when the Team 10 stuff, then they really were like over it when he started like wrecking havoc everywhere.
Yeah, and then the engagement to Tana and all that. And
is that when he? Yeah, right.
That's when things really started getting a little dicey over there. But
I don't know what I was doing that time period. Like I feel like I just was like out of it. I don't think I was like following social media then because I just don't remember that really. Like I did get invited to their wedding, but I had no idea if I didn't know what it was. Like I didn't know anything.
I was on the side of that wedding.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I interviewed. It's funny when Tana was here. She did not remember at all, which was so funny to me.
Oh my gosh.
I don't blame her. But it was like I hosted Tana's VidCon panel when Jake proposed.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It all feels like a fever dream. But I remember hosting on that stage and like it was all I'm like, thank God, because I was running. I remember there was like a timer on the stage for like how long I had with Tana, and I was going through. Tana was just like so short, like with her answers, so I was running out of like questions, and there was still like 12 minutes on the clock. And then Jake showed up and proposed, and I was like, thank God, because he filled up the rest of that time slot. Yeah, VidCon.
How old was she? She had to be like 18.
No, she was old. I think she was like 20.
Because she's 25 now, right?
It was 2019.
So that's 4 years ago. She was like, okay, so she's like 21.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then
I was thinking we were so young.
And then I went to her. I was like her and Jake's first interview as a married couple at like
You interviewed them?
Yeah. It was like right after the wedding at the Sugar Factory. Is that what it's called? In Vegas?
Yeah.
That wedding was great. I remember sitting there like, what the hell is going on? It was crazy.
Was it just all? I should have asked her more about this because I'm so curious. Was it just all like publicity? Like it was just all.
Yeah. And they were selling as if it was like the real deal, but then she said like retroactively that.
But they were acting at the time as if it was
a real wedding. Yeah. And I just remember it was at this mansion in like outside of Vegas, like outside of the Strip, I mean. And everything was like, it was all like white themed. I think everyone was like in white or something. And I remember just being like, their stage where they actually got married was probably like the size of like your stage. Like it was so tiny and they tried to fit so many people. And she was with Jordan, I think, at the time. And I was like, Jordan, like, I need a shot. Like, I got to film this for, like, the show or whatever. So it was, like...
For Entertainment Tonight?
It was for E.T., yeah.
Oh, my God. Wait, is E.T. not Entertainment Tonight? Did they rebrand to E.T.?
No, it's the same thing, yeah. I
never hear anyone call them Entertainment Tonight.
No,
it's
everyone's
just
just like E.T., yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, same thing. But... Wow. Yeah, it was wild. That was the time.
That's crazy that you were there. You're like that person.
That was historic.
You're like Forrest Gump, where he's like always everywhere through history. Do you see that movie where he's just like always in the right spot? That's you. That's crazy. That's so cool that you did that.
That was fun. That was a time. That was definitely a time.
What year you said that was
2019?
Oh, that was my downfall year. That was my year. I just spiraled. So I don't know what anything was happening in 2019. That makes sense because I was like, I don't remember it.
Was that was your tour, right? Was it 2019?
It was. Yeah. 2019 kind of took me out of the spiral for like, it was like a 2-month tour, and then I went back in it after I hurt my knee, and then I started like spiraling down again.
I do remember that. It was a roller coaster.
Yeah, it was hard. I was very skinny, but it was a crazy year. 2019 was a crazy year. But anyways, that's a whole thing.
What a roller coaster.
Yeah, I think I missed that whole era of just like Logan and Jake. Like I honestly, I don't know. What era was that? What year?
That was like 2018, 20, I think 20 that they got like kind of more that I knew about them at least, because I feel like they were more like that bro side of YouTube that I'd like dissociate from. And then 2018, 2019, they kind of infiltrated.
So 2018, yeah.
Right? Because wasn't 2018... It was around there that Logan was coming back from like the Japan body situation.
Yes. It was very bro-y. Because that one picture of me and Jake Paul, I looked up. I was like, that was 2018.
Yeah.
And that was when I was in the vlog squad. So I think that was like the year of like bros.
Yeah.
But I remember David didn't want to like associate with Jake or Logan. It was very weird.
That makes sense.
Yeah. But does it? But why?
I don't know. I think because even though there was a lot of bros in the vlog squad, I didn't feel like it was too bro, like as a consumer at the time. Like this is me at the time.
You didn't think it was bro-y? What do you think it was?
I was into it. So I think because there
was no female anything.
You're forgetting like Carly and Aaron. Like there were some girl perspectives in there too. And I remember really liking
I guess
them.
I only really interacted, again, the pick-me girl here. I really only interacted with guys. I liked the girls. Like I liked Corinna. I just like didn't see her a lot. Yeah, I guess maybe, I don't know. And even Carly and Aaron, I think I only saw them a couple times.
Yeah. And
I don't know.
I feel like, all the interactions were like kind of like as weird as like this. There's a squad, but then in the squad there was like the micro groups.
Definitely,
that
was a weird time. Everything is so weird, like how YouTube, just the phases of YouTube, like how it all changes so much, and like groups and beauty community's not even around anymore. Like it's so interesting to me. And now there's like nothing. Like there's no group on YouTube, right?
No, I feel like now the big personalities or whatever on YouTube, it's a lot of like Minecraft not kid. To me they're kids, but like 20-something-year-olds, like Dream in that group.
Dream is 20?
I think he's in his 20s.
Did he get a facelift? I just saw something on Twitter that said he got like a facelift and like a chin implant or something.
No, I have no idea.
Unless it was Photoshop, but I'm pretty sure I saw it on my...
Oh my God.
Yeah, I think I just saw it. He kind of looks the same. Like, it looks like subtle work. So I was like, kind of looks the same, but a little more elevated.
Yeah. Like, maybe I don't know. I always hate speculating on, like, stuff like that, too. But something looks a little different. He looks good. I will say that.
I wonder if people gave him so much crap when he did his face reveal that he's like, oh, man, now I need to go get face work done.
Maybe it's a little filler or something. Who knows? But regardless, he looks good. So good for you, Dream.
I thought he looked good
I thought he was cute before. Yeah. But
how old is he? 20 would be young. I feel like he's been around for a while.
24.
What's he do? He's a Minecrafter.
He did, like, gaming stuff, but now he doesn't really game. He does like music and stuff like that. Yeah. But there's like that whole group, and I was never into Minecraft, so I like totally missed this whole, like, even before, like when Minecraft was bigger with other gamers, and now it's like these younger ones. Like I still have like no idea who any of them are.
Minecraft is like the little like digital thing.
Everything's like a little square.
I don't like it.
I can't.
Those little swords that are like they're like pixels.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't like that.
No, I never got into it, so I missed out on this whole. But they are like so popular, like on all like the YouTube events now. They're like the big like headliners or whatever.
That's
like
crazy.
VidCon. It was like yeah.
If you play video games, that's a big red flag. That's immediate no. Do you play?
I like some games. Like I like Animal Crossing, that one that you played for a day.
It's
cute. Yeah. There's like I have like a couple games that I play.
How long are you playing these games for a week?
Not a lot anymore, because it's like when I had more free time, I would play like Animal Crossing. I would play I was like an Animal Crossing.
Really?
Yeah.
So you're just sitting there playing a video game?
Mm-hmm.
I don't get it. I don't get it. Especially guys who like will play for 6-7 hours. I was like, oh hell no. If you're into video games, immediately no.
Gamers what used to be my type. Like when I was single, my boyfriend now isn't really a gamer that much. She kind of same as me, like I play casually. But gamers used to be like my type. I don't know.
What about
I think it's
them?
different for gay. Like gay gamers and straight gamers are very different. I will say. There's more of like a light funness to it, where I feel like straight men a lot of the times can be very like toxic, very like
They're
aggressive,
like
yelling. Yeah,
hate it. I think that if you're like hating, if you're yelling at like a video game or yelling at sports, I'm like, you have some issues. Like seriously, like again, the boys in my family like love sports, and they would get so mad at the team loss, like it would ruin their whole day. And I was like, it's literally just like a sports game that has no effect on you. Those people are getting paid millions of dollars. They don't care that they lost. Like, why do you care?
I know. There is like this video I saw on Twitter/X like last week, and I think it was a soccer game where like a team won, and then the guys were like losing their mind. One is like flat, like mooning the crowd, like pulling down his pants, mooning the crowd, like losing their shit. But it's also like those same like groups make fun of like teen girls who get excited like at concerts or whatever. Like they'll post like girls who like post their reaction screaming at like, you know, a Harry Styles concert or whatever, and be like,
that makes more sense. Like someone's making you feel something. It's a person. It's interaction. They're like speaking to your emotions. Like, well, football players, they don't give a crap about you. They do not care. They don't care. They don't care that they lose. Like a lot of them probably like happy to just sit on the bench. Like I still get paid whether I'm sitting on the bench or whatever. I don't even know anything about sports. I don't know what's good, bad.
But it's like those accounts that like make fun of like teen girls for being excited about like an artist are also, then they'll post like a major W, like we're celebrating the win of the team. It's like,
and also you're making fun of teen girls. Like, what's wrong with you? Like, any guys that make fun of girls, period, are weird. But you're also making fun of teen girls. I'm just like, I don't know. I have issues when guys just like come for like girls in general. But then teen girls, like they're teenagers.
Yeah,
like what the hell?
It's like people don't take teen girls' interests like seriously, which is so ironic because teen girls really have such a big part in they play such a big part in pop culture and like what's popular and what's successful. So it's like you have to market.
They make you. Like literally they make you. Like teenage girls will make you. They have the influence. They have the vibes. They know what's going on. Like I always pay attention to like what the young girls are doing or into because they know. Like just like Britney Spears. Like the girls that made Britney Spears were like my age. You know, we were like 13 and stuff, and we just like loved Britney. And it's like that they're the tastemakers. So when they write that off, I'm just like, no one's talking. Like I couldn't even tell you an NFL. I don't know anybody who plays for the NFL, but you could definitely tell a Britney Spears. You know, like if you're a guy, you know.
Yeah.
It's just so weird to me. I don't know. Guys are weird in general.
Although now I'm having to get into football though because
I know what. Why?
Because of Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce.
Oh my God.
At the Chiefs game yesterday. I even know a football team now because of,
Never heard of them.
Yeah, me either until
Where
yesterday.
were they playing?
Kansas City.
Don't know where it is.
I don't know where that is either. I think Ohio?
Kansas City?
Ohio? Is
Kansas.
Kansas City in Ohio?
I think Kansas City is in Kansas.
Wait.
I don't know. I have no idea.
Oh, it is. Wait. Not me Googling where is Kansas City.
Google it. Get it up. We need to know. Honestly, we don't need to know, but we could look it up. You don't know where Kansas City is, Moses?
Missouri. I never would have guessed in a million years Missouri.
Why would Kansas City not be in Kansas?
I could have sworn it was. And I looked at there's a Kansas, Ohio. Is also, there's a city named Kansas in Ohio, but Kansas City is in Missouri. But Kansas is also a state.
Oh my God, that's crazy.
Make it make sense.
Yeah, I hate all of it.
Yeah.
So, okay, I think it's fake.
You think? Okay.
Obviously. Okay, if it was real, she wouldn't have to, like, they wouldn't be leaving in a convertible together. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, they were doing it for publicity.
Here's the thing.
I don't like it.
I love it.
I
love it. Listen,
fake.
Taylor has been bogged down by, like, a pale, skinny British man for long. Matt Healy. We had Joe Alwyn, Calvin Harris, Tom Hiddleston.
Joe Jonas.
He's not British, but also we hate him too.
He looks British.
So we haven't had like a good, strong, masculine, tall American man. And so this is the Swiftie independence. Like we're celebrating America. Like I love America again. I don't know. I'm in it. I'm tired of like the skinny little dead looking British men. Like I want a hot, hairy, muscular, tall football player for her. This is what I want.
Toxic masculinity. Football players are toxic.
Here's the thing. He is silly. Like he's himbo. He's silly. He made friendship bracelets for the concert. He does little like cute little dances.
It's because
he's
Taylor
close
Swift.
with his mom. Like he's kind of like from everything that I've seen, he's himbo, like sweet, 2 brain cells, like puppy dog, which is what I think she needs. And she needs someone who's just like no thoughts, just like cute, you know.
Yeah, maybe, right. Sometimes when you have no thoughts, you get closer to like the universe aligning you with like talking to animals or something, you know?
Yeah, like you're like on a different like mental plateau. So
I think the dumb people have it figured out. Like the ones that don't think.
They're not more thinking is sometimes
aligned.
Not thinking is the way to go.
Okay, maybe I like him, but he didn't look too dumb to me.
From what I've seen, he's just like
what's he
himbo.
say? Give me a himbo line.
I don't know anything that he says. I don't pay that much attention.
Oh, bye. I thought you knew.
No, I've only seen him talk about Taylor because like that's really the only reason I'd be interested.
Oh, he has talked about her.
Yeah, on like his podcast and stuff. And he was like.
He's a podcast? Why does everybody have a podcast? On our podcast right below was Roseanne Barr. I'm like, what? So random. Why does every single, I mean, granted I do too, but like, why does every single person have a podcast? Everybody has a podcast. TikTok, I'll see people with like 2 views have podcasts. I'm like, how does everyone have a podcast? I guess because
it's like easy to have one. Like,
it's so hard. What are you talking about? Well, like to get ad reads, to get a set, to do the microphones, the tech, the thing, to put up on Spotify. Like all that's very hard. It's very complicated.
Like if you're just doing it with nothing but like $2 and a dream, it's pretty easy, I think.
No, but you have to get the microphones. I have no idea how you upload it to Spotify. Someone does that for us.
That part I don't know either, but I think you just have to Google and find out.
No, because I did one once with Anchor FM and it was like not the right one. Like it's so hard. Like it's so hard actually. And I'm just like, how do people have enough to say? There's so many like people in the real world that just have nothing to say, but yet everyone has a podcast. And I'm just like, even the people who have podcasts have nothing to say. So I'm like, why would you start a podcast? Was it someone recently? Who was it that said they didn't like to talk or something? Do you know what I'm talking about? They're like, oh, I don't really like to talk, or I don't.
Where was Gabby?
Oh, but that's not the one I was thinking of. But yeah. No, that is true.
Because her boyfriend was like, "Can I talk?" She's like, "Why are you here if you're not going to talk?"
Oh, yes!
She told him that on the podcast and aired that.
There was a girl. We'll cut this out. Gabby and her boyfriend. Well, you don't have to.
She had a podcast.
Oh my god, I was on it.
Yeah.
Oh, I do remember when you were on it. Okay,
But so we cut the name out. You don't have to. I don't care. It doesn't matter. But like she had her boyfriend on and like a friend co-hosting with her, and the boyfriend would like never talk because he's just like quiet. He's not an entertainer. Like he literally was like a medical person or something. And she would literally be like, "Why?" She goes, "Do you have anything to say?" He's like, "No." She goes, "Then why are you here?" I was like, "Oh my god!" Like people just forcing people to be on a podcast. That's my pet peeve. And also, when they have like 7 co-hosts, there's this one on TikTok. I don't know who they are. They have like 3 girls usually. You know that one? They're always talking about like sluts or how many people they have sex with. It's odd anyways because there's like 2 guys and like 5 girls, and the guys are asking the girls about how many people they sleep with.
Oh, I've seen that on TikTok before.
I don't know if they're always the co-host, but I always see all of them in this table, like 8 people, and talking, and it's just the most. First of all, it's a weird format, but it's also like, why do you have 8 people with microphones? That stresses me out so much. We might be having 2 guests this week at the same time, and that stresses me out because I was like, well, they're not gonna. Okay, which by the way, we should test this out to see if 2 of us could fit on this chair. Maybe we'll do that in a commercial break after the ad read. We should see if you and I fit in this chair because I think 2 people could fit in this chair.
I think 2 people could fit in that chair,
and especially if they're close to each other. So I'm like, well, they won't mind being in the same chair because we could bring in stools. But then I'm sitting on this big chair to look like I'm a big fatty, and they're the skinny people, so they get to sit on stools. Like I need this big of chair to hold me up, but they're going to be on little stools.
No, the idea is that you're on your throne.
I'm just going to look fat and they're going to look tiny and little.
What are you talking about? You look tiny on this chair.
They're like, Trisha has a huge chair and they have little stools that you can't even see.
But they understand why. That's the design of the podcast.
I think, what do you think? Do you think we have 2 with the chair, or you think we have...
Are they little or are they...
They're little.
Oh, yeah, put them on the same chair, I think. Yeah.
That's what I think. I told Moses, like, even me and Moses could sit on this chair. You know what I mean?
But...
So... Yeah. I think it's better. And also they're close and stuff like that. So I'm like, I think they would like it. I don't know. I think it's... Anyways, but it stresses me out. Back to that point is because, like, I don't know, even when I go on, with 2 people, like I just did Canceled, and I love them, or Trash Tuesday has like 3 hosts, and I love all of them, so it's like fun, or Julia Fox, everyone, and I get it, but it's so, no matter what, right, talking to 2 people is just like a lot. Julia Fox, I'm like in the middle, but also it's just like someone is gonna feel left out because even me, like sometimes they'll have a rapport, the 2, the 2 hosts, so then I feel like I'm not in on it. Like Trash Tuesday has their own rapport, and again, I love them, but it's just like, then you kind of feel left out. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. You're like, oh, they have their own thing, or whatever. I don't know. Is that just me? Is that kind of weird?
I think as a viewer, I definitely pick, like on Canceled, when there's a guest that like doesn't really engage with Brooke. Like I'm conscious of that the whole time.
Okay, so this is when I first saw it. So I did Canceled, and I always read comments because I'm like, I don't know. Usually I'm a glutton for punishment, but they were actually very nice on the Canceled comments. But they said that they're like, oh, Trisha like talking to Brooke, and it's just like. Oh, the JoJo. Okay, we'll talk about that. The JoJo Siwa one is where I saw JoJo ignoring Brooke.
Same.
Which, granted, the way they have it set up, they probably know this or whatever. It is kind of hard because like Brooke is like right next to you and Tana's across from you. So they should, anyways, that's the whole other thing. But But no matter what, like, I think that's one of the things, you know, it's like, just like Julia Fox too. It's like, if you know Julia Fox, like, you're going to talk to her more, which I don't know, but not even just that. When there's just multiple people, it's just hard to listen to everybody, right?
Yeah.
I don't know, even like, I don't know, it's just like hard. Like us, like, okay, but like when there's a guest, because people always ask why is Oscar on, it's like, for me, it's hard enough to talk to one person. Not hard, but you just want to focus on one person, you know?
Yeah.
And then like we were talking about having 2 guests this week, and I would love it. And I think it'll work out because they're so good together. But then I'm like, am I going to feel like the odd man out? You know what I mean? Like, or is it going to be too much where everyone's just talking? Because Moses was like, have them share a microphone so only one can talk at a time. But I'm like, no, that's weird too. I don't know. I get stressed about it, you guys. Like, I get so stressed about it because I'm just like, I don't know.
For us especially, I think it makes, you're kind of like a Drew Barrymore in a way where you get very like in the conversation.
I love it, yeah.
Which I love too. And it's like, I'm usually in the room anyway. And like, I'm fine kind of just like being here. You know, like, it's not like I'm desperate to get on the microphone.
You are a good interviewer though. So like I see there like.
But we like prep beforehand anyway. So if there's anything that, and like I would tell you if you had to like, if there's something that you missed or something.
I would also just feel, and I'll just like, whatever. I would just feel like, let me talk. You know what I mean? I always feel like that anyways. So I think, and even though you're my favorite co-host and you're the best, I would still be like, no, let me talk. I don't know. I get like that with Moses too. I don't know with anyone. Like, I just want to be the one talking all the time.
I think it makes sense for like the way that we're formatted. But
right?
Yeah, and then like as a viewer, it definitely, I'm kind of distracted in the interview when they don't talk to Brooke at all or like acknowledge her, because I think every time she talks, I enjoy what she has to say.
Yeah, no,
you know?
I think I would. Yeah, exactly. Because we were talking about having them too. These weren't the ones for this week, but having them too. And it's like I would rather do an interview with like Brooke because she's such different energy than Tana.
Yeah,
Tana is just like she'll go off on like she'll just goes off on people or whatever, and it's like that's cute and fun. That's her. But Brooke's like nah, she's just like quieter and whatever. And I think that's like a different energy you have to match. Like yeah, it's weird. And what I personally like when I watch Trash Tuesday, for instance, it's like these 3 girls. Like I like to just watch them when they have like a guest come in. I don't know. It's like ruins the vibe. Same thing with Canceled. I love Matt Rife and I love the Canceled girls. But all together, I'm like, Matt Rife is not the same vibe as them.
Yeah.
Which gets them a lot of views. I don't know. Let's talk about something else besides Canceled. Because
like
Canceled,
The View,
I love.
like The View. When I was younger, I would watch The View a lot with like my grandma.
Yes.
And that was like another thing too, because I'm like whoever's like in the guest, right? They're in the middle of the couch or the sofa, and then they have to like they have to readjust to like talk to a different person, and it's so distracting. And each like person on The View has such a different personality. Like you have someone who's super conservative, and then you have to talk different towards them, and then you have someone who's a comedian, so then you can kiki with them. It's like so.
The View stresses me out beyond belief. Anyone who goes on The View is like, what are you like just trying to torture yourself? Like it's so crazy because like like when Pamela Anderson was on and she was like having who was it, Meghan McCain I think, and her they had this like. Yeah. The most awkward interaction ever. I was just like, or like when Whoopi like walks off, or it was a Joy, or someone walks off because someone's conservative and they're like, we walk off. I'm like, okay, but you're not professional. Like sit there. Like you invited this person on who has like a different opinion than you. Like just sit there and listen to them. Like it just bothers me. I don't know. The women of The View bother me more than anything. Is that bad to say? That might make me misogynistic, but I cannot stand The View. I never could stand The View. When
Kathy Griffin would be on The View, like I would watch because I loved Kathy, you know, but then she would always fight with someone and it gets stressful. That's what I'm saying. I think it gets stressful. So like even though I couldn't stand Elizabeth Hasselbeck, like they were always so mean to her, which I get because she would say stupid stuff, but it's also like, I don't know. It's also like The Real. I see clips of The Real on TikTok all the time. I never watched the show. Oh my God, they're kind of like so mean to each other. Like, is it Tamara? And Tamara will be like, oh my God, we're tired of hearing about your husband. And then Tamara will be like, I don't know. Or someone ate food that smelled bad. And then she's like, you eat food that smells bad. It's disgusting. Like, eat it at home. I'm like, what? Like, that's when you're saying the girl ensemble. That gets messy. Yeah. Because girl, and I get it. I'm someone too. Honestly, like, both men and women, I just don't like to be around, which is why I don't have friends. Like, I would get annoyed too if I had to be around someone all day, every day, you know? Yeah. Or sharing the mic again. Because, like, I don't know. That's why I like Wendy. She was just like her own. I saw a Wendy clip where Wendy took the microphone. Have you seen that? No. It was like, I think it was Zara Larson. I don't know why that name comes to me. Is she a singer? It was not Zara Larson. Yes. Was it? Is she a singer? Yeah. Is she blonde? Yeah. I think it was Zara Larson. Really? So she was like performing and Wendy went like this. And I think it was Zara Larson. She went to go grab the microphone, and Wendy's like, "Nah." She snatched it back. And I was like, I don't know. I actually have no idea who Zara. But that sticks in my head for some reason. I just saw it on TikTok the other day. God. It was wild. I was like, she
Wendy,
like young? A young blonde girl? It may have been her then, because she would have been young. Oh my God. It's crazy. I was just like, and honestly, that's like something I would do just like inadvertently because you're just like, no. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe that's a bad take on everything. I don't know. But that one with like all the girls and the guys, like that's like 8 people hosting. I'm like, too much. Yeah. To me, it just, yeah. I guess I'm a talker and I just love to talk. So I'd rather just talk the whole time. But I will say like a solo me wouldn't work.
Unless it was short format, like Wendy. Well, even Wendy, like she talked to someone, you know? She had Norman, she had Susan, she had all stuff like that. Because it's like, I've done a podcast where I'm just talking by myself, and that is boring. Like, you're just talking to yourself. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah.
Wait, did you point at me, Susan?
Yeah, you are the Susan. I thought you were the Susan. Do you want to be Norman?
I don't know.
Okay, well, Oscar's the Norman. You're the Susan. Who was Susan, I wonder? Was she like a producer?
I think she's a producer, yeah.
Who was higher up, you think? Because Norman had the headset on, which I want you to wear a headset so bad.
Oh.
We were always supposed to remember. I think I told you early on. I'm like, let's wear a headset.
I do remember that.
You're like,
oh my God,
your hair looks
I
good,
want
though.
a little headset. That'd be so
That'd be cute. What was it for? Was it a microphone?
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
So like everyone has in-ear, like, you know, so you can.
Do you think he actually was doing something else on the show, or he was just there to be her like talking board?
I feel like it probably started where he was supposed to be doing like more producing stuff, but then ended up being more of like the talent kind of thing.
Do you think he got a increase in pay?
I would think so. If you're going to be on camera that much, I think you have to.
I was wondering that too. I'm like, should we give you more for the episodes you're on camera versus the ones that you're just editing? Like, I don't know. I'm really bad. Like, I'm like the worst boss with this kind of thing. I'm just like, I don't really know. I actually have no idea with anything. Like, I'm like, I guess you're like considered a talent. I don't know. Like, I'm so bad. Like, I don't know. Anyways, I'm like,
we're just winging it, girl.
We're just winging it for now. And for now, until we get our TV show, we haven't got to any hot topic. Or have we got to hot topics?
We touched.
Oh, you were talking about Kelsey and Taylor Swift.
Which I feel like we kind of.
You're about them?
Yes, I'm into it. I do see the promo allegations. I do see it. I see them. I understand them. But I'm having fun with Travis and Taylor, so I'm going to run with it.
Wait, his name's Travis or Kelsey?
Travis Kelce.
Oh, I hate that. 2 first names. Yeah. I hate. Oh, my God. You're Oscar Gracie, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we talked about this. Like Gracie Manor, like Content Mansion. You never replied to my tweet, by the way.
What tweet?
Of Taylor Swift and Sophie Turner, and I said me and Oscar Gracie.
Oh, you tweeted me? Oh,
yes,
I don't see.
You watched my Twitter.
I do. Well, I wasn't on it as much last week because I was on vacation.
I wanted to recreate the outfits because, okay, Sophie Turner had such a cool, like, crisscross applesauce top. It looked so cool. And then Taylor had this really cool, like, denim jacket with, like, this, like, red,
when they went out to dinner.
Yes.
Loved that.
Also, like, that's what I'm saying. I feel like Taylor is all about the promo. Like, I think she wants this publicity because, like, why would she do that? She could have her over for dinner at her apartment and have a chef cook.
Everything she does is, like, super calculated to where, like, it's all very strategic, and she's very smart. And I do, for Travis, I definitely think it's promo. I think it started off as a rumor, but she got into it as people started hyping it up more. Mm-hmm. So she saw, like, oh, people are into it. Like, I'm going to go to his little game and then put on a show. Switching to Sophie Turner, I think it was more, everything was so angled against Sophie. Like, everything that was coming out was, like, to make Sophie look bad. And I think this was, like, a statement to almost boost Sophie up, if that makes sense. You know,
but
like,
did she need boost? I thought everyone was on Sophie's side. Like, I think
as far as like the mainstream media, especially because the Jonas Brothers are like, Joe was so vocal through the press, and also he's on tour and he's just like more visible. And Sophie's super low key. She was filming in England, like not very seen or anything.
Yeah.
And it was also like the first time they were seen was like the day before the lawsuit. Sophie filed the lawsuit against Joe
because he like took the kids, right? Like he took them.
Yeah. So
did he kidnap them? Because that's wild. First of all, we're always Team Sophie over here. Like, after Jonas Brothers, we do not like you guys. You guys are all about publicity. I don't think this, like, talent is there. You're not in sync. Like, oh, my God, Camp Rock. Camp Rock, I saw it. Oh, my God. It was the most cringy thing. I never saw it. I saw a clip of it with, have you seen it?
Camp Rock, yeah.
With Joe Jonas. He's like, plays this like pop star, which he's solo, I guess. He's a solo pop star in the movie.
No, it was all 3 of them, but he was like the leading man. The other 2 were like the supporting.
He's so cringy. There was one where he's like, grab a hat and whatever. He's like, grab a hat and a microphone and see if you can keep up. And he's doing this like weird cringy dance. And I'm just like, who likes this person? Like, who found this person attractive? Like, that's what I want to know. Like, what is happening in the scene? I don't like him. I don't like the fact that he's like using this being like, I'm taking care of the kids while I'm on tour. It's like, no, you're not taking care of the kids while you're on tour. That's impossible. You can't be touring at night and taking care of your kids 24/7. Like, you just can't. Like, also, once again, making a woman look bad, especially the like mother of your children, making them look bad in the public eye, like, is so seedy and gross, not only for like the public, but also your children. Like, what the hell? Like, you met this girl when she was literally 19 years old, like married her, got her pregnant, all this stuff like that. And it's like, now you're going to try and be like, oh yeah, she's like, not like acting like she's not a good mom. Like, he's like all this stuff like that. That's just like, what? I cannot with Joe Jonas. I do not. Nope. I don't even know the other 2 names. Well, I know Nick. I don't know the other one's name. I don't care. I don't care. Because they're just hanging on to relevancy by trying to drag Sophie Turner down, and it drives me nuts.
Yeah, I'm not a Jonas anti per se. I'm a Joe Jonas anti now because of the Sophie Turner stuff.
And Taylor Swift. What did he do to her? Tell us. Well, I'm sure he did something.
back in the day, this was like, oh my God, 2007. He like broke up with Taylor Swift via a voicemail, like a 27-second voicemail. I was like hard pressed about that. But then she forgave him and they were friends because he dated her friend. So I was like, fine, all is well. Nick, I don't really have it. Nick and Kevin are kind of like whatever to me. I don't care about. I don't really think about, I should say.
Yeah, same.
But yeah, Joe, I definitely have a problem with now because the whole... First of all, like we said, the whole PR campaign against Sophie was just, it like raised eyebrows for sure. And it was so like obvious that it was trying to slander the woman. But I feel like because it was so obvious, a lot of people saw through it. If this was like 2010, Sophie would have gone eaten alive, I think.
Yeah, for sure.
But now that people have more of like a knowledge of what goes on behind the scenes and how like media is usually like misogynist, I feel like people saw through it more, and I don't think they were like expecting that. And it's also like
the mom of your kids, like she gave birth to your children. Like even if it's the worst mom ever, like why would you want your children to have that perception of her? One day, well, they'll see it. Why would you want the public to have that perception of the mother of your children? Like you're so gross, like so gross. I hate it so much. And for any guy to try and get custody from the mom, unless she's like a drug addict or like something can't take care of herself, and I don't mean that in a bad way, just like can't take care of herself or can't take care of children. Like you shouldn't be filing for like custody. So she sued him now.
Yeah, so she had filed a lawsuit for the wrongful retention of their 2 kids because they had agreed that the kids would like live in England, and Joe was allegedly withholding their passports so they couldn't return back to England. Yeah,
that would be what. First of all, where does that even come up with the alleged like holding passports? Who came up with that?
It was in the lawsuit that was filed.
Oh, that Sophie filed.
So Sophie filed, yeah.
You're like crazy. Like you're psychotic if you're trying to hide like passport photos or passports. And that's insane.
So she actually listed in the lawsuits all the places that they've traveled with the kids and for how long, and everything's been temporary. Like they were in New York for a little bit, Miami a little bit, but looking at all the time, like they spent the most time in England. Like their doctors and their dentists are all in England. Yeah. So that's been like their habitual home, is what she says in the lawsuit.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So
wait, why sue? I mean, I don't understand. Like,
I think because it's
not like a custody thing, like a custody agreement. If
he's withholding it and not like giving the passport or not letting the kids back, he's just like withholding them basically. And she had agreed, and the lawsuit said that she had agreed with hesitation to have the daughters travel with Joe while he was on tour, but that was like a temporary arrangement because she was filming, so he technically had more time during the day to be with the kids because she was working during the day.
Oh no.
They had agreed that until she's finished shooting in England, that the kids would stay like on the tour. But then
that's crazy too. Not to like judge, but that's crazy. Because first of all, even if I was working all the time, I'd still be like, I'd rather them be with me than like traveling on a tour bus with the Jonas Brothers. You know what I mean? Like that seems not right.
I think that's why she said, like, it specifically said she agreed with hesitation. So I think she like kind of was convinced that would be like what was best for the kids.
Oh, no. What a nightmare. Oh my God. Could you imagine like someone's like holding your kids, like, oh, they don't have a passport, like
especially because he also had that like little paparazzi like photo. The kids are never paparazzi'd, and all of a sudden in the middle of the divorce there's like those paparazzi photos of him with like the 2 kids out and about.
Was he holding them like that?
He had one, then his like assistant was holding one, so it was just very like obvious. And the kids, one of their names is even released. Like they're so private about the kids, so all of a sudden in the middle of this, it's all very transparent.
Oh my God, I hate that. Oh my God, that's like my worst nightmare. Oh
and then Sophie also said that in the lawsuit, she alleges that she actually found out about the divorce from the media after Joe had filed for divorce on September 1st. And she claims that the breakdown of the marriage happened very suddenly after an argument on August 15th. So that also kind of explains why at first, like, nothing was coming when the news of the divorce was coming out. Nothing was coming from Sophie's side. It was all Joe's side, so that kind of makes sense with like the timeline of how like the news filtered out. Oh my God. But he was also wearing his wedding ring like on the concert, like when he was performing on tour days before he announced the divorce. So that also makes me think, like, was he purposely wearing his wedding ring to not like tip Sophie off that he was gonna file? You know?
How you really think they don't know?
Sophie, I don't know. Well, she was in England, so
that's crazy. So when you file for divorce, you just like go to a courthouse and file.
You file, yeah.
And then how is like how do people get that? It's just like public record, but how do they check every day, like all the records or what?
That's why I think, because all the perspective was from Joe Jonas's side, so it makes me think like, yeah, like there someone in that camp was like tipping off and making it seem very angled towards Joe and like kind of slandering Sophie a little bit. But it's also like you kind of get away free, right? Because if it's a source, like you can't attribute that to anyone in particular. You just say a source.
How do you become the source? What if I was a source?
It
but
honestly is really easy.
Is it? What do you do?
You just say shit.
But here's the thing. Okay, like you're a source, right? But what if like doesn't it come out? Because what if I email from my email?
So if you are a source, like especially like a reputable like publisher or like news organization, then they can't say, if you say just attribute as a source, they can't out you or expose you.
But I mean, they could, but
then they'd be fired. So it's like, is it?
But what if they get fired anyways? And they're like, oh, actually, Trisha was the one who said that.
They could, yeah. But then they also that follows them throughout their career, so they can't really get rehired. You know,
right?
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's what I always wondered. I was like, cause so many times. Not now. I don't know any information about anything. But back in the day, I wanted to be a source so bad.
It was like so easy.
Yeah. Because I feel like I had so much information and like I would love to be a source. And you know, back then I was like always wanting to get like people in trouble if they deserved it, right? Like if you thought they wronged you, I was like, you know what? I know something about this person. Let me be a source and leak it. But I never knew how you were a source with truly being anonymous. Because I actually was scared. I was always scared to leak it because I'm like, what if it comes back or something? They know. I always thought people were going to come out to get me or something. So I know nothing about nothing anymore, which is kind of good, I guess.
Yeah, like you said earlier, like sometimes not thinking is like the way to go.
Not thinking is the way to go. Troy Kelsey, what's his name?
Travis Kelce.
Travis Kelly?
Kelsey, right? And now I'm second. You make me say, yes, Travis Kelce.
Oh my gosh, Travis Kelce has it. Yeah. Do you think football players are really dumb? I feel like that's like a stereotype, or is that real?
I think it's a stereotype, but I feel like with a lot of stereotypes, they come from a place of like true for a majority of people.
Right.
So I think there is some truth in it.
Because I feel like majority of football players like don't focus on studying; they focus on playing football.
Yeah, there's like a meathead kind of reputation for them.
I wouldn't let my son play football. I just would be like, I don't want him to get hurt, and two, I'm just like, try other things first.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Really yeah, I agree. If
unless he was a prodigy or something, I guess. But how do you know you're a prodigy if you never play
Until you try it, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know about football, dude.
Yeah, no, it's not my sport. I never liked football. I could get behind any other ones like baseball or, basketball, but football's boring. It's slow.
Just to do our journalistic responsibility, I guess we should say that
fact check, context.
Joe's team did release a statement after Sophie's lawsuit came out and said that this is an unfortunate legal disagreement about a marriage that is sadly ending. And Joe has already disavowed any and all statements purportedly made on his behalf that were disparaging of Sophie. They were made without his approval and are not consistent with his views.
Okay.
His wish is that Sophie would reconsider her harsh legal position and move forward in a more constructive, private manner.
Okay, cute. At least he's like trying to say like, I don't stand behind those statements.
Yeah.
But the paparazzi's ick. Like the paparazzi shots are ick. If it never happened before and now it's happening.
It's very suspicious. So Joe is saying that none of it was, from his team, but use your own critical thinking and discretion in forming your opinion.
It's also hard on the kids to have two states, much less two different countries. Yeah. They need like stability. Mm-hmm. It's too hard. It's so hard. God, divorce is the worst. Did Jonas date Demi Lovato?
Yes. Yeah. Allegedly, Disney made them date to promote like Camp Rock and stuff. But
I saw something where they broke up and they had to perform at like Good Morning America together or something like that. Okay, I kind of feel for Demi Lovato. Like I feel like I was never a Demi Lovato hater, but I kind of feel bad for her. I feel like she has like so many issues and people just like always like making her feel bad. I think she was on Zach Sang recently and she was talking about the Poot Lovato picture where she was like saying that image was like photoshopped. She thought it was just like a bad picture of her, but it was like Photoshop. Is that real? Is that true? So like that kind of stuff. And then I think in general she just gets attacked a lot, like the frozen yogurt thing, which I mean was so like silly of her to say. But people were like feral over that when she was saying like the sugar-free triggered me. And it's like I get what she was saying. She probably wasn't thinking about like diabetics and stuff like that, And then there was something recently. Oh, she said on, I don't know what interview it was. It was something where she's like, someone said, when do you feel the most confident? And she's like, oh, I feel the most confident when I'm having sex. Yeah. And then everyone's like, wow, if that's your worth, whatever. And I was like, I kind of get what she's saying because you feel like, oh, this person really wants me. I'm desired. Like, that's where I got I still get most of my confidence. I'm like, this is the time where I feel so sexy and, whatever. And people just really came for her for everything. I'm like, oh, this girl, I can't catch a break, I feel.
I feel like if you have your mind made up about her, anything that she says will annoy you. I feel like it's one of those kind of situations. So it's kind of like a lose-lose. And I think she's gotten more quiet because she kind of realizes that. Because there was a time where she was like very vocal about her opinions and what she believes in and stuff when it comes to like aliens and ghosts and all that.
Oh, I didn't know all that.
Yeah, she had like a whole show about like trying to find aliens.
Oh my God, very Trish coded. Maybe we're so much
very
alike.
Trish coded, yeah.
Wow, I love it.
There was like one scene from the show where she's like singing to the aliens.
No way, what
but
song?
Also very Skyscraper.
And what was she hoping to do?
Communicate with. Oh no, this one was a ghost. She was trying to sing to a ghost in like this shack. There was times where I was really annoyed by Demi too, and was like kind of the same. Like anything she did would be like annoying.
Yeah.
But then you kind of grow out of it, and you kind of just realize she's just like a person, and I don't know.
A kid, like a child star who was like, I didn't know the Wilma Valderrama thing, like that she
same.
was like, what, 29 and she was 17 or something like that. I was just like, that's so gross. And I always feel for girls in those situations because, you know, they're always like taught to be like, oh, you're mature, you're this or that. And then it like messes you up because you think you're in love or whatever, all this stuff like that. So I always like kind of felt for her. The more I found out about her, I'm kind of like, God, I feel like she gets like such a hard time. Or like, you know, changing her pronouns, like, you know, like changing them back to, you know, she, her, like she's no longer they, them. And it's like, I get it. Like sometimes you just don't know. And there's certain areas of your life where you're just like I still love they, them. I love the idea of no one being gendered. Like I love it so much. It's hard, obviously. You just like, I have a daughter and everyone's just like, oh, you do everything girly for her. And it's just hard because that's the way our world is conditioned. But I love the idea of that. But I also get it where she said what? It was like confusing to some people. So it's like, I get that too. She's female presenting and stuff like that because people I know thought I was a joke when I did it or I was still joking or not serious about it. So I think it's just like people are so hard on her. Like, okay, so she changed her pronouns back. It's like, anyone else people would support. Like, okay, whatever, you know, change your pronouns, change, you know, if you're feeling something different each day. I mean, that's part of non-binary is like you don't know which gender you are depending on the hour of the day. Like it can switch so quickly. So I feel like she just gets so much hate and I always like feel so bad for her and I'm kind of like, kind of love. And she's so talented. She was so good on like X Factor. She always got like hate on that show too. And I was just like, I don't know. I really like feel for her. Obviously she went through like substance abuse issues and stuff. It's just like, and being a child star, I don't know, just all of it seems like a lot.
Yeah, I think, you know, it reminds me a little bit of like, you know, Jessica Simpson, Christina Britney. She was like kind of lumped in with Selena. It was like always Miley, then Selena, and then, you know, Demi like at the end. Mm-hmm. So I think that does a lot to you psychologically, you know, like you already have, she went into Disney with a lot of like mental health issues. And then that only gets amplified once you're thrown into like the spotlight compared to like other successful women who are the same age as you, you grew up with. And then you like pit it against them. There's so much like psychologically that goes into it. And then it's kind of like, it's same with any like the shows and anything like back in that era, like you going through it at the time, like as a consumer of the media, you're not really aware of that stuff, right? And then like as you grow up, you look back and like, oh, that was really fucked up. Like I should not have said that stuff about Demi Lovato.
What I learned is like you were saying, she kind of goes silent because she just knows if people hate her, they're just gonna hate her. So that's what I did. I did like a year or 2 years of silence. I'm like, let me just be silent. But you know what? They'll just hate on to that anyways too. Like I was silent. I was out of drama for like a year and a half. Didn't comment anything about anything, and people still had something to say. People still like, oh, faking a pregnancy. Oh, she's doing this while pregnant. Oh, she was drinking on her honeymoon while pregnant. Like they always have something to say, even if you say nothing.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, I might as well just say something because I'd rather say something than nothing. You know what I mean? And it's just, I don't know, especially when you're opinionated. And obviously Demi has a lot of opinions and probably like some good takes. You know, I feel like with anything, especially someone like her, because I relate to her, is like you could have 100 bad takes, but you might have a couple like really brilliant takes.
Yeah.
So I just throw them all out there, and I'm just like, well, if 3 are good, you know, the other ones will be forgiven because they'll be like, oh, that's just Trish. She had some bad takes, but there's some good takes too, you know.
Yeah.
And sometimes the ones who've been through shit have the more insightful takes, and sometimes I would like to hear, especially Demi Lovato, on like all that stuff like that, like the EDs and all that stuff like that. It's an interesting thing on social media. Do you follow Eugenia COONEY?
Mm-hmm.
Did you see her latest TikTok?
The Beyonce one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because the comments, I went to the comments, it's like, okay. She says, her mom says too, that she eats, that she does not have an ED, right? She says she doesn't have it.
Yeah.
And it's just like one of those things where it's like, you think about it in reverse, right? If someone's like really heavy and they can't get out of bed, like you wouldn't say anything. But yeah, all the comments were saying something. And I get it. Look, it's triggering. Like it's so triggering. She's clearly showing off her like body. And it's like one of those things where I feel like the social media step in, like, and I've said this about other things, not just ED, people with mental illness, like Fusi, who obviously spiraling on live. Why is no one like on Twitch or something shutting off his stream? You know what I mean? Shutting these things down. And so I see stuff like this and I'm like, gosh, you know, sometimes for me, when I have really untreated mental illness, it was really severe. Like I wish someone would have stepped in back then when I was like spiraling and making like 300 videos about me just being like off my, you know, everything. Like it just wasn't sane. You know, I wish like something would have shut me down to like force me to get better.
Yeah.
But it's weird that like, we talked about this, Dr. Drew, too, like social media doesn't have like something to step in. You know what I mean? When it's, not only is it clear someone's struggling, but they're also like promoting this unhealthy lifestyle. Like it's pretty clear she's not hiding it. You know, she really wants, you know, Eugenia COONEY like showing her body.
in general, like say like the 8 passenger situation where like there were viewers who saw the content and saw that something was wrong with the content and then reported it, and then just nothing was like
nothing was done.
CPS did go to like, you know, do the routine like well-being check or whatever, and then nothing came of it. So I feel like that happens, sadly, like happens frequently. Like viewers do like try to get involved or try to help, and then just nothing comes of it. Because I think at the end of the day, it's like someone that actually has like control, or someone who can actually has influence over that person can like legally, you know, step in and force something to happen. I feel like that is pretty evident. But the point overall though is like, why do like social media platforms continue to like let these people who are sick like have platforms? Like why not? Same with the 8 passengers, like that YouTube channel was still up for a long time.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, YouTube doesn't even let you like drink alcohol on camera. When Carrot Top was here, I know he likes this alcohol. So I was like, oh, we should do this alcohol, but they don't even like let you drink it on camera. So I was like, okay, so you won't promote alcohol that's like legal, or you won't like let people do it, but you'll let people who have clearly, and the opposite way, I'll go on this way since I'm on the fat side of this thing, you know, like mukbangs. You know, I did a whole interview with, I don't know what it was it ABC or something like that recently about mukbangs. I think honestly should be somewhat banned as far as like the amount of food being consumed, because it is promoting like, I don't know, like overeating, like unhealthy lifestyle. And I just feel like there's so much rules on YouTube of what you can and cannot say. So I'm like, how does the eating or also showing off an unhealthy lifestyle, like how do they not block that kind of thing? You know what I mean? Because it's obviously like Eugenia Cooney, it's obviously to like spark rage. Like she's showing her body for either, right? It's like rage baiting. I don't know.
I don't know either.
Off on that? Because it does bother me. Like, it really, like, upsets me. But also the same way where it's just, like, or triggering. I shouldn't say upsets me. Because I'm just like, oh, my God, this person is, like, literally, like, not well. And everyone's just, like, giving her views or all stuff like that. And I'm just like, I don't know. And it's kind of the opposite, like I said, when people eat so much food. And I'm not just talking about a meal or, like, 3 meals you're eating. But, like, you know, you have so much food. I don't know. Or people, I don't know, that show off, like, their weight gain and being unhealthy and stuff. I don't know. And I used to mukbang, too. So I'm not saying, I don't know. It's just, like, a weird thing.
It seems like if you do something to yourself, that you don't mind it as much as if you hurt somebody else.
Interesting.
So if you starve yourself or eat too much, but it's yourself, right? You're not doing anything to somebody else.
Right.
So unless you're abusing somebody, hate speech, anything political, that seems to be the pattern here.
Yeah, that's interesting. Because I know when I would make like, what is it called? Like erratic videos or something like that, I'm just like, wow, it's interesting. And I was scared of it even at the time when I was like literally out of my mind. Like I was like, oh, it's interesting. YouTube never like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. Not to say it's their fault. I don't know. I think there just should be like a system. Or TikTok is very strict too. So I'm kind of surprised TikTok, because it is a form of like harm or promoting unhealthy lifestyle. Like it's on the same vein as like alcohol and stuff. I don't know. I just saw it and it was just like really like, and I saw the comments like Mama Tot, who I love on TikTok, was just like, this is like really triggering. Like, you know, like get like someone should get her some help. And like, granted, she's an adult, but like you said, there should be like an intervention or just shouldn't be able to like glamorize it in a way.
Yeah.
Like,
is it rage baiting, or is that just who she is? And that's just like, is she just like like the way that you cosplay, you know, is like, I don't know how she sees it. And I've always been like very confused by Eugenia, because it's hard because you see someone and like her family say that she doesn't have a problem.
But she clearly does.
Yeah.
Like, it's not just thin and fast metabolism. Like, there is.
Yeah.
Because, like, you know, it's like blue. And I hate it because I hate, like, looking at someone's body and judging them. But it's, like, one of those things where it's just like, oh, my gosh, this is, like, it's really scary. I don't know. And it's.
From, like, the platform perspective, I guess because she doesn't. It's not like she vocalizes. And there's, like, a whole subgenre of like TikTok, YouTube, whatever, that have like code names for like EDs and stuff to like give people tips on that. And that's, it's like a really dark side. Yeah. And they have to give those code names and stuff because if you like actively promote it, and then that's where you get content flagged and removed. But I think because she isn't necessarily promoting it like verbally, you know, that's why a platform hasn't like she hasn't been like deplatformed anywhere, if that makes sense.
Interesting, because I know TikTok also, I feel like you can't promote diet pills. I think is one of the things you can't promote. So it is interesting.
Because right now it would be like passively, right? Because she's just like showing how she looks. But I think if she actually talked about it, then she would get deplatformed or something would be removed. I think that's the line. That's not,
because every thumbnail is her body. Every, it's like it's very clear, but.
And that's how she's, even on YouTube, when she was like really active on YouTube, like the thumbnail was always, you know, her trying on outfits and being like super tight. Like, yeah. It's all very, it's all very sad. And it's like one of those things too where it's like it's been going on for so long that it's like I kind of feel helpless, you know? It's like,
yeah, it has been going on for so long, and I'm just like, gosh, no one, I don't know. It's just sad when you see it. Or it's like, you know, Aaron Carter too, people just like constantly were just like making fun of him, you know, and constantly being like, what's wrong with this guy, when there was like clearly, you know, like he could have used help more than like, I don't know, just hate and stuff like that. And I feel like more people are trying to help her than hate. It's no longer like eat something, you look like it's none of that, because I think those comments almost like enable someone to keep going, you know. But I think people do want to help her more than anything, you know. And I guess it's coming from someone in a completely different way, but like someone with like a really mental illness, like hearing it over and over, like get help, like, you know, at some point you're just like, oh, maybe like I do need help, you know, maybe it is. But it took like other people, it took the internet saying that, it took other people in my life saying that, like it took a while. So, but it's been a while, so I don't know. I just feel like it's one of those things where I feel like, gosh, I wish I could like say something or like do something. I don't know.
I know.
But there's probably nothing. I feel like when you have that sickness, there's nothing you can do
at this point, because it has been so long, and people,
that's what I'm saying, almost taking away the platform, because it's obviously getting her views and money. And
yeah, but even when she wasn't making content, you know, she like came back and was still, because there was a period of time where she wasn't posting as much. I feel like TikTok is new-ish for her, so I don't know. Even before that, it was like Twitch. I feel like it's kind of hard. I feel like she'll always be making content. Yeah. Another
creeper, Leonardo DiCaprio.
Oh,
dating a 25-year-old.
Yeah.
Ew. What's wrong with him? A lot. What is wrong with Leonardo DiCaprio? First of all, he is not hot anymore. So why is he dating 25-year-olds? Why does dating 25-year-olds want him aside from his money? Like, he's not hot.
Didn't you have a song, Leonardo DiCaprio?
Yes, and I deleted it. It's embarrassing. It's so embarrassing. And I was like 20 because I thought, oh my God, Leonardo DiCaprio. Like, ew, he's so embarrassing and so cringe.
When you hear the name, I think in your head, not saying me now, but I'm saying like in general, like the general public, right? Like you hear the name Leonardo DiCaprio, you think, oh, Titanic. Like you just have that image in your head.
When he was like hot, young,
yes, and like a heartthrob, and that. But then obviously we see him now. It's like,
God, ugh. So scary.
But it's literally just like writing off the name, I think.
And is he like mentally like unstable? Like why does he date young girls? Like that's what I want to know. Like why? It's like the friendship thing too. Why are people trying to be friends with teenagers? Why are they trying to date people who? Because 25 is like when you're underdeveloped. They always say he like leaves his girlfriends once they hit 25. Because 25 is when you're like supposedly fully developed, or you're getting close to fully developed mentally. So he likes to go, like, is he mentally unwell that he has to find people that are underdeveloped to like match his like brain capacity? Like, I don't understand it.
And I feel like no one's like pressed him about it either. Like he literally just kind of skates by
as if it's like normal, like all of Hollywood. Kate Winslet, like, oh, Lily, I love you, and I'm like, this guy is a creeper. Like, there's something wrong with him.
But, yeah, I don't know. I feel like he's just gonna continue just skating by. No one's gonna press him about it. So like find out. But I think too, maybe like, you know, child star syndrome like F's with a lot of people's like mentality and like gives them mental issues. So I'm sure that probably has something to do with it too, especially because that was like, think about like the child stars that we like, Demi and Miley, whatever.
Yeah.
It's even worse. Like, you know, we've progressed a lot. So even like back then, like early 90s child star must have been even worse.
Or Corey Feldman, like the stuff that he endured. I was like, oh my God, this is crazy that this was like a real thing. What's his stance? He's just like a global warming enthusiast or something like that.
he's not pro global warming. He's like trying to stop global warming.
How's he trying to do that though? All I ever hear is like global warming this, global warming that. And I'm like, what are you trying to do to stop it?
I think he like created some kind of fund or something that, you know.
With Al Gore.
Yeah.
I remember that was like a big thing. Do you remember Al Gore? Isn't it crazy politicians, period?
Yeah.
Like, they're so crazy that they're just like these crooks that are just out in the public, and they're just like can get away with anything and everything. I mean, like the whole, who was Hillary up against that was a crook? They were all crooks at the same time. Was it Hillary and Donald Trump?
Donald Trump.
And everyone just like, they're all bad, like hiding emails, doing weird stuff. Donald Trump just got arrested, and it's just like totally fine and normal. And not only that, you get to be the leader of the country.
Yeah.
Which is like insane. Like, how are politicians getting away? I should be the president. Like, I'm probably less problematic than all the ones that we've had. Like, it's insane to me. Politicians in general, like Al Gore too, doing this whole like, a global warming, like what? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, he's just getting away with it.
Wait, what do you mean? He's getting away with what?
Like global warming.
He's not like he's not like, yes, like melt the ice caps though. He's just like,
it's his fault.
Yes, isn't that what they want? What? I thought that's what it was.
No, he wants the global warming to stop.
But melting ice caps would make it cool, and then global warming doesn't exist because you're cooling off the world.
But then we run out of ice. Then what do you do?
Oh my gosh. Anyone who's like, that's your stance, global warming, and I get it. I support it. But we're not going to change it right now, you know?
No, but we have to take steps now to stop global warming.
So what are the steps? What are the steps? I would love to know, but I don't think it's going to happen. So what are the steps? Tell me.
It's like, you know, your carbon footprint. It's harder for like the individual person because it's on like the big corporations who like really are the ones that like cause so much waste and CO2, and all the bad stuff really comes from like the big organizations who the way that they produce stuff like is really harmful to the environment. So it's mostly on them. But like as the individual person, you know, you can just doing your own things to help reduce your carbon footprint. Like using people always say like use public transportation, like reduce, reuse, recycle.
No one's gonna do that. No one's using public transportation.
Sustainability is like important.
Okay,
like
I don't mind that.
The stuff that you support. Like people say like don't support like the fast. That's why the Shein influencers like because the way that they produce is harmful to people, but also harmful to the environment. Like fast
that was
fashion.
just about the workers.
It's like also like fast fashion in general, like the factories and stuff. It's like wasteful because of the way that they like create so much, and then the pieces that they make aren't sustainable. Like they only last for a short period of time, and then all that is being wasted.
Okay, but that's easy to say when you're rich, like Leonardo DiCaprio and Al Gore. But it's like people can only afford Fashion Nova.
No, it's hard.
You know what I mean? Like I get it.
That's why it's like mostly on like the big companies. You know?
Yeah.
And those are the people that fly in their private jets everywhere.
Exactly.
And when you fly in the private jet, that's more than our car will ever produce.
I'm sure
in a
Al Gore
lifetime.
is not going coach
Bill
on
Gates,
Southwest.
Al Gore, Leonardo DiCaprio.
They're on private jets. You're right.
Yeah, to those meetings to talk about us.
Oh my God.
That's what's not fair.
Crooks.
They're trying to put it on
They're
us.
scamming.
When they're the ones that actually.
Yeah, we're not on our private jet. It's like you're telling us to take a bus, but you're gonna go fly Air Force One. Like it's crazy. Like that is insane. Actually, like when you stop to think about that, I was like, they're scamming us.
Yeah.
Like, why don't you do that? Why don't you take a public bus, Al Gore? Like, you know, I would love to see that. They won't even do it for publicity. Like, they won't even do that for a publicity shot.
These people have enough money to solve a lot of the world's problems, but don't. You
Like
know?
Oprah,
so it's
all
like,
those things, yeah.
It's not really like putting your money where your mouth is.
Elon
like,
Musk, I mean, I'm not just going for like, you know, he do. If he has $1 trillion, he could get us out of debt.
Yeah.
It's
so
insane.
it's kind of frustrating when you really like think about it and you can like spiral and stuff or whatever. Cause like you kind of feel like, you know, what good can one individual person do? But the greater, you know, it's like you do your part to help the environment.
No, I don't think one individual can do it, but I think like Elon Musk or Al Gore or something can do it.
the big companies.
Yeah, so you guys do it and stop telling us to.
As a consumer, you can like pressure people. Like, I think if people get together, you know, they have power. Like where you put your money and who you support financially makes people listen. And you know,
wait, what do you mean where you put your money?
like if you support people or companies and stuff like that, you know, are like harming the environment, for example, like that helps, you know, as a consumer.
Name
just being
a company so we
consumer.
stop supporting it.
I mean, it's hard because it's like so hypocritical of me. But like Elon Musk, am I on X a lot? Yes. And do I have a Tesla? Yes. But this was before I knew how terrible he was.
Support him.
I know. From now on, like I'm not. I have to be more of a conscious consumer because I like knew that stuff before, you know, or I bought it or leased it before I even knew all this stuff about him. So it's kind of just being more of like a conscious consumer. It's hard because it's also like, you know, the general person can only buy cheaper fast fashion clothes, blah, blah, blah. So it's difficult. But where you can.
The straws, the plastic straw situation. Yeah. Like, was that a scam too?
It's very that.
Like, I feel like we didn't save the turtles. Like, I feel like turtles are still dying.
There's.
I've seen it.
No, I know because it's like really plastic straws aren't doing as much damage as like, you know, the companies that go like fishing, you know, like so
it's a distraction. I think it's a distraction.
Yeah.
Like, okay, stop using straws, but also, yeah, like you said, the private jets, all this stuff like that. Is there an election happening this year?
Yeah. Wait, 2024? Yes, next year.
Oh, on our calendar, we bought a desk calendar, which I haven't bought those since like the 90s. It says election in like November. Is there like another election? Crazy. Yeah, I feel like whenever elections come up, like there's always just so much controversial stuff happening. Like I feel like it's just
because all the issues just come out and then everyone has to decide like what issues they care about, and it's like really stressful.
That's complicated though. This is why voting, I'm just like, it's hard for me to like get behind or anything. Like because like everyone is bad.
Yeah.
Like so you're just voting for lesser of the evils?
Kind of, yeah. You have to whoever has like the least bad about them.
Oh my God.
But I mean, that's kind of in general. Like everyone's kind of doing their best, and you kind of have to see who actually, you know, puts their money where their mouth is and is actually, you know, doing the least bad stuff.
So who would you pick as president?
Realistically?
Yeah.
Okay. Realistically, Joe Biden, just because he at least like cares about the environment.
Isn't he our president now?
Yeah, but he'd be reelected. He's running for reelection.
But also he's like literally old.
He's really
like he's
old.
Gonna die.
I know. We can't say that. We can't say that.
I mean, don't cut that out then. But he's just so old. He's just so old. Well, I mean, everyone would die eventually, but okay. Yeah, okay, got it. I just feel like there should be an age cutoff.
No, I agree.
Right.
There's so many
like
oldies.
Driving.
Yeah.
There should be a cutoff of driving.
Sometimes you make so much sense
Thank
that
you.
it actually blows my mind.
That's what I'm saying.
That is tea.
Demi Lovato, 100 bad takes, 2 good takes.
If you were like too old to be on the road, you should not be in office.
That's exactly it.
Oh my God, you blew my mind with that.
Right.
Wow.
So there should be a cutoff. But you love Joe Biden. Why? Sorry, go ahead.
It's not that I love him, but I just think, like I said, the least bad stuff out of who we got going on right now. Because he at least cares about the environment. For students who have like college debt, he's trying to like get rid of that. Especially he's more progressive about like banning like assault rifles and about LGBT rights and healthcare and stuff. I think he's not perfect, and I don't agree with everything that he
socially
does,
he's good.
The best out of the best that we got right now.
But didn't his son like literally do cocaine in the White House or something like
yeah,
that?
Hunter Biden.
I guess you shouldn't judge someone based on their son. Just because your son's a mess doesn't mean you are.
Yeah. Hunter Biden seems a little wild, but
should we have him on the podcast, or is he problematic?
I think he's problematic, but I'm really interested.
I would love to interview the son of the president.
Yeah.
Like, just be like, how is it? Like, growing up, or I guess not growing up. I guess he's grown. But like, does he go to the White House for Thanksgiving?
He's with them.
Oh, he supports?
Joe Biden has been very compassionate about his son and his addiction.
Love that.
And he also lost one son.
Yeah, I was going to say, I thought one passed away.
So, I mean, as far as a family,
he's a family guy.
Yeah.
Oh my
and
God.
He's been seen with him recently. He's always with them.
Really?
The family,
Okay, I kind of live for this now. I knew nothing about Joe Biden, but I kind of love that. I love that he stands behind, because when you have like a person like addicted to something in your family, if you can like stand by them, especially when you're the president and all this bad stuff's coming up and he obviously has like a sickness, like I love that he stands by him.
Yeah. Like I said, kind of like the least bad. That
Totally. I agree with you.
Like realistically, as a realistic president option.
Yeah. Oh, I just wish he wasn't so old.
I know, but 4 more years, I think maybe
his son could run because he's younger.
I don't know if we want Hunter Biden, but Kamala Harris, I guess if anything happened to Joe Biden, Kamala Harris would be.
I know nothing about her. What does she do?
She's kind of the same. She's like very like progressive. Okay. So yeah, I think she would be. Yeah.
Every time you say progressive, I think of like Flo.
Yeah.
Have you seen that TikTok where it's like nationwide? No. Wait, what is on your side? You never seen that? That's in my head constantly, all throughout the day. It's just what I'm gonna eat for lunch and that song. Oh, you watched it. I love it. Nationwide. Which one do you have for insurance?
Oh, Tesla. I have
Tesla insurance?
You got me again, Elon.
They have their own insurance?
Curse you, Elon Musk.
Yeah, maybe we're over the Tesla era.
I'm stuck with it for now because I'm, legally I'm leased, but post lease we're breaking free unless Elon changes his tune and saves the freaking world.
I don't know about y'all out there, but I just can't drink and recover the way I used to. But thanks to More Labs Morning Recovery, I can have a few drinks at dinner, wake up the next morning, and pretend like it didn't even happen. Get ready for work, be bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. This is a miracle in a bottle. More Labs Morning Recovery. Let's talk more about More Labs, today's sponsor. More Labs created this nifty lifesaver of a drink called Morning Recovery that helps prevent rough mornings after drinking. Similar drinks have existed in Korea for a long time, but there were no options like that here in the US that worked. So their founder quit his job at Tesla to fix and create Morning Recovery. Now, how does this work, you may ask? Okay, it contains herbs, vitamins, and minerals that help you bounce back, and a proprietary blend of electrolytes to rehydrate you. So you can have fun at night and still feel good the next day, just like you did when you were 21. So they conducted a clinical study, and users of Morning Recovery felt up to 80% better than those without Morning Recovery across various symptoms after drinking. I feel like I did not drink a lot at night because I just could not bounce back the same way. I always just had to have a day of recovering after drinking. Now I can have a few drinks at dinner and still feel really great the next morning with Morning Recovery. It really does work. Definitely take it while drinking or right after, and you will feel so good the next morning. So guys, go to morelabs.com and use code Trish for 25% off your first order of Morning Recovery. That's morelabs.com and use code Trish for 25% off your first order of Morning Recovery.
Yeah.
Can I tell you my dilemma with my lease? This is gonna sound like rich people problems over here. So I am about leasing. I used to buy my cars because I thought I'm gonna buy. Like, I'm not gonna lease. That's like ick. What? But I 100% like support leasing because like I was always changing in my cars. I was always getting a new car like every 6 months or whatever. So I know you're supposed to have it for 2 years or whatever. But I had my car lease for 2 years. I got it in 2020, my pink Rolls Royce, and I had horrible credit back then. It's a $500,000 car, and I had horrible credit. So like literally nobody was gonna give me a leasing agreement or a loan or anything like that. So finally, this one company, this like not shady, but a little shady because they're kind of being shady with my lease now. But this company that obviously is the last last resort that's like, we'll give you the money, but you have to give us like $100,000 non-refundable down payment. And this was the time I was making so much money. So I was like, yeah, have $100,000. Let me have this Rolls Royce. I have to say, I think I got the Rolls Royce. I love my Rolls Royce. But I also wanted to like impress Moses. He wasn't talking to me at the time. So I was kind of like, what if he sees me driving the pink Rolls Royce and he's going to come back around? You know what I mean? Like, I just thought, I don't know. I really did want the car because I do love cars, but I also was thinking that in my head. But I love this car so much. So I got this like leasing thing, put $100,000 down, non-refundable, which is like crazy, whatever. They said it's supposed to go to like lowering your car payments. Mine are like $5,000 a month. And I'm like, okay, that's not lowering, but I love it. So it was a 2-year lease, like 2 years, like, do you want to renew your lease? I was like, okay. They asked me for another $10,000 just so I can keep paying them $5,000. No, they did put down my monthly. It ended up going from like $5,800 to like $5,000 a month or something, but I had to pay $10,000. I don't know, whatever. But I love this car, so I was like, fine, I'll pay $10,000. And this was a year I wasn't making money, but I'm like, all right, fine, whatever. I love this car more than anything in the world. So it was June. June came up this year, the 3-year lease. They're like, well, we can like lease it to you for like another 6 months, and then 6 months, whatever. November 28th is when it's up, and I'm a little stressed about it because it's like doomsday to me. I'm like, what am I gonna do about this? Look, we're fine. Nobody started a campaign for us. Like, we have a Range Rover and a Jeep truck. Okay, we'll be okay. But I love this car. 1, it makes me feel skinny. 2, it's what I do my mukbangs in. Like, it's pink. Like, I just love it. And granted, it's way too much attention. It's way too flashy. People follow us everywhere we go. Like, it's a lot. But I love this car. So I'm just like, okay, so now the 6 months is coming up. Basically, they told me like a couple weeks ago, they're like, yeah, it ends November 28th, your like lease. So we can't continue your lease, even though this is a company that does it. Like, this is what they do. They specialize in giving people money that can't get car loans. I can't get a loan because, once again, my credit's horrible. So I'm just like, I won't be able to get like a loan to buy it, whatever. They're like, well, you either can buy it outright. And I think now I would owe $267,000. And I'd have to give them cash. I'm like, well, I don't have $267,000 cash to give you. I mean, like, if I do, I wouldn't be able to eat or something. You know what I mean? So I was just like, it's just so frustrating. So then I'm like, okay, well, is that the only option? Like, I have to give you back the car or pay $267,000? Like, you won't like work with me on another like lease? Like, I can't keep paying you $5,000 a month? Like, I don't understand this. So it's very bizarre to me. So then I contact the Rolls Royce dealership that I got it from, and they're like, don't give that. Oh, so wait, before that, so the shady leasing company, not shady, but they know whatever. They're like, well, if I were you, I would just hand the car in now so you don't have to make payments these last 2 months. But I'm like, no, but I want to keep this car for as long as possible. Like, I'm going to keep making the payments. That's not the issue. Like, they're like, we'll just turn it in now. So in my head, I'm thinking like they might have someone who wants to buy the car because it's the only pink Rolls Royce in the world. So I was like, maybe they have someone that wants to buy it, because they even said something weird. Like, what did they say? Like, oh, we'll give you like the difference if we sell the car for more than it's worth. And I was just like, what? You guys are being so weird. I don't understand. So then called Rolls Royce, like, do not give them the car back. We're going to figure this out. We'll buy it back from you or whatever. It was this whole thing. So I don't know what's happening. I guess people really want this car. Granted, the value has gone down. And what did you say? They're going to keep going down? What is it? It's still...
The value didn't go down because people want those cars. And especially after quarantine, like, people could not produce cars. So there's a backlog, you know. So you could sell the car for more than what it's worth. But I think people want this car specifically.
Oh, we got to come up with $287,000 before November 28th.
Maybe we'll do a show, like a one-time. Isn't that
you
all
think
the
we'd
movies?
make that much? $287,000? Yeah, they usually get $20,000, like the Brady Bunch, not $287,000.
In the movies, there's some
Call
kind
Matthew
of
Stevens. Let's get a campaign going. Let's sell those bronzers. No, I do feel that way though. I'm like, how am I going to come up with $287,000? Like, I'm like, okay, I'll play the lottery.
One night at SOPHIE.
No?
One night at SOPHIE.
Oh, well, I definitely can make it then.
We have until November.
Can you call? You know, also, I also thought like if the weekend came on, that could be the episode that makes $287,000. I'm so
maybe
stressed.
That's the campaign to get who? The Weeknd.
The Weeknd would bring
Britney
in that
Spears.
much. Oh, Britney Spears for sure. I think she's sitting down doing an interview with Oprah as we speak. Everyone is like
What?
saying that. Yeah, all the
Lord.
Britney fan bases on X are saying that. They're all like, she's sitting down with Oprah to do. Someone told me I looked like Oprah in the Carrot Top episode with the curly hair. They're like, you look like Oprah.
You were giving Oprah
I
down.
live. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oprah always put herself on the cover of the magazines. I kind of live for old Oprah. I
Yeah.
like classic Oprah when she was like giving cars away. Although also people had to pay taxes and had to like turn back in those
Yeah.
cars. I would give pink Rolls Royces away. If I ever got to Oprah level, I would have an episode where I gave pink Rolls Royces away. Although no one probably could afford those taxes because they are so, like, I can barely afford them. It's one of those things where Moses is like, well, because he knows how much I love the car, and as much as he's like not a spender, he's trying to figure out ways. But he's like, well, you know what? That's $5,000 we could put towards like we're trying to get another house or something. And I was like, yeah, I guess. But it's just like I love this car so much. I don't know. But either way, I'm fine with it. If it goes, it goes. But
But we did see they have a new like electric Rolls Royce. They're coming out.
That's true. They
So
have like
I feel like all I was saying is like we might have like let's say a 6 month period.
No! I don't want a 6 month period of not having a Rolls Royce.
Before transitioning to the next one.
And it makes me feel so skinny. Our Range Rover, I feel so fat driving in. Like, it's just such a wide boat. Like, it's like a boat.
It is the best car in the world.
It's the best. Thank you. So you get it.
No doubt. No, I would rather get rid of everything else and keep that one.
Same. Oh my God. I don't think our Range Rover and our Jeep are worth $287,000. But oh man. Okay. Well, I'm gonna figure this out. But it's very stressful because I love it. And the thing is, and I could buy it, but it's like the Rolls Royce people were like, well, we can find a bank to help you buy, but it won't. It'll be that same situation where it's like, give us $100,000, and it's just like, okay, well, and I did get the $100,000, which crazy to me. It's like, why don't I get that $100,000 back?
That's why leases are so sus to me,
right? Like, why do you need that $100,000? Like, I thought that was to like qualify me to show, like, look, I got the money, like. I don't know. It's so annoying. I want that money back.
All the car dealerships, they bargain because like I said, in quarantine, there was not enough cars. So people, if you went to go get a Porsche, you would pay the dealership another $30,000-$50,000.
That's what I did, yeah. That's what I was doing.
Just to get the car.
Because mine was quarantine. Mine was due 2020.
Yeah. So they are shady. They take money instead of just buying the car for what it's worth.
I wish I had the money. Like, I'm still playing. Tonight is the Powerball. We need to go get tickets. We'll go to Chili's and then go get the Powerball because Chili's is making a comeback. And I'm like, oh, man. Yeah. I mean, I shop at Target and Fashion Nova, but I love a good Rolls Royce. You know what I mean? Like, oh, man. It's just.
It's all about balance.
Yeah. All that to say, you should get rid of your Tesla and get a Rolls Royce because then you're not supporting Elon Musk and you're sticking it to the man, which is what we love to do on Just Trish. True. We had Just Trish. Yeah, I never said it out loud, but sometimes I like sharing like relatable problems. Like, I'm a real person too. I can't afford to like buy out my car. You know what I mean? People think I'm just like baller over here, and it's like, no, I can pay a $5,000 lease, but
we should have like, I wonder if there's like a YouTube like economist.
Economist?
Is that the noun?
What is it? Like a consumer?
Professional and business, like money, like.
Oh.
Like someone who tells you how to like spend, how to save.
What's the name of the guy that did a video about our house? And
oh yeah, that guy. I don't know.
He's good. He's on YouTube doing
we should get someone like that. And
for
then
what?
Who sits us down and tells us how much money we're wasting and
what.
Heck
no. That's called a business manager, and I have one, and all she does is like, you don't have the money to buy this, and it's like, no, I'm not listening to you.
That's her worst nightmare.
Yeah, I fire everyone who tells me I can't afford something. I'm like, no, fired. And then I'm constantly like, oh man, I owe taxes again this year. Dang, it's like, and I'm always on extension. That's coming up to October 15th, so it's like not coinciding with my Rolls Royce purchase. So I'm gonna be like, no. Oh my gosh,
that was bad.
That's why we're going 3 days a week. Just Trish. We only have like a month to get it, so. Oh man. We'll figure it out though, I think.
Together we can.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Speaking of another sad divorce, did you see Hugh Jackman's getting divorced?
Oh yeah.
After like 30 years. Like,
so random.
I don't understand this either. I don't understand when you're like, again, so old. Like, why?
I know.
You've been together so long. You're not going to get someone better. You would have gotten someone in your prime in the Wolverine days. Like, what are you? Why?
I think Hugh Jackman can still get some, like.
Nah, he's not my type. I don't think so.
I saw a lot of gays, like, really on Twitter /X were, like, really excited about, as if like they all have a shot. I don't know.
Well, maybe he is like musical. He does Broadway.
That's what, yeah. So
I think everyone could swing a little bit.
I think so too, but I don't think any random Twitter gay is gonna get Hugh Jackman. It has to be
never
someone,
know. And I don't understand. Like, you're together so long. Like, that's crazy. Like, I couldn't even imagine. We've only been together 3 years. I can't even imagine like how waking up and him not being there, like by choice. You know what I mean? Where I'm just like, oh, we're just choosing to be separate. Like, that becomes your daily life. Like, you're my daily life with me.
I almost wonder if I was at that point, would I just be like, okay, go if you want, like, so say if I was her and hypothetically in a crazy world, Hugh Jackman, like, wanted to experiment with the guys or whatever, I'd be okay, go do that. But, like, we'll still be married.
Yes.
That's what I
think with the Ariana Grande situation. I'd be like, go, if you want to go have an affair with her, go have an affair with her. But, like, don't leave our family.
Yeah. I think after, like, 30, when I was that old, I think that's how
you build a life. Right.
I'd be like, well, damn, you know.
And I get it. I mean, we haven't been married 30 years, but maybe in 30 years, yeah. But also, like, no, I guess I get it. Maybe you want to try something crazy in 30 years. And at that point, it's like, yes, but we have like all these homes together and these businesses together. And it's like, so we'll just, I don't know, go do that.
Yeah. I'd almost feel like a Will Smith, Jada Pinkett Smith kind of thing. Because I think they both like let them, allegedly, I think as far as I know.
Yeah.
Like both like went off and kind of did their own thing. But then we're still like, you know, like open on the DL maybe? I don't know.
Yeah, and they made it public and then it became not. Yeah. It's crazy. I don't know. I guess different structure, and we don't know why.
Yeah.
But I can't imagine them doing anything crazy. It's like Joe Jonas and Sophie Turner. I want to know why.
Me too.
Why don't they ever say why? I think it'd give everyone a peace of mind. Like, okay.
in Sophie's lawsuit, it said that they had a fight or a disagreement August 15th, and then that for some reason that's made Joe wanna.
Oh, he saw something on the Ring camera.
Yeah,
What would you have to see on the Ring camera to divorce me? If you saw something, what would it be? I love giving him these scenarios. Like, what is it?
What would I see?
What would you see that's like divorce?
I can't even imagine.
Really? I'm trying to think. I always give him this. I'm trying to think of these scenarios. Like, what would I see? And I'd be like, divorce.
I don't know, because we're just not that kind of people. Like,
well, speak for yourself. I'm that person. If I saw you doing some, like, I don't know.
No, I'm saying like I don't imagine you cheating. I don't imagine you.
We were just talking about this morning at Glam. Like, I
don't imagine you.
Yeah, I don't even know how that situation would ever come up. I don't know.
I know. I would have to see something crazy too, I think.
Like, what would it be for you?
It would have to be like some kind of getting railed by like 2 other guys or something on the Ring camera. And then I'd be like, okay, we can't.
Well, that'd be wild if that's what he was talking about. I was thinking like he just heard her say something like, oh, like Joe Jonas is a piece of shit or something. I don't know, like making fun of him or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It was making fun of, but something like very personal and like, I don't know. If it crossed the line where it wasn't like, haha, it was like actually mean and like very.
Would you divorce?
Nasty. Yeah. If it was like really nasty, you know.
That's such a weird. I guess I'm so just like, I don't know. I'm so like, I don't know, numb to everything. I'm like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like I'm pretty forgiving. Like,
yeah.
I don't know. Like, again, if people talk shit about me, it's like if I, it's like it's fine to a certain degree if you like just admit it. You know what I mean? Because it's like, I guess like in the past I've talked shit about people, so it's like just admit that you talk shit. I don't know.
It would have to be, I guess, for
not
me,
currently, but I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Well, I guess currently if he's like making like saying nasty stuff, I guess yeah. But I don't know. You have a house together. Who's moving out?
That's true. It's different with like property and stuff and like baby. Like for me, I guess it'd be a little. There's less like it's just more emotional stuff. I guess.
I know. I was thinking about like getting us a house because I'm like, I guess if we like don't like each other one day, we can go to separate houses. Because right now we are stuck.
That's rich. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he has a building in downtown that's like
but
has
also
no furniture.
this house is 3. Can't you just go to a different floor?
He did say that. Oh, one time we only had one fight in this house ever, like 2 years ago, and I was so mad. I wanted to leave, and he's like, "No, I'm gonna leave." And he just like went downstairs. So I was like, "I'm leaving because that's still in the same house." And then you ended up leaving. That was only one night we spent apart, and then you did leave. He has like a building, like a commercial building, and he like went and stayed there. And that was like the only time. And I was so scared. I had all the lights on. He said he looked at me on the Ring. I was like, "Did you see me?" Because we have a ring in our bedroom, and he's like, "Yeah, you watched me."
You know,
I was scared.
I'm still your bodyguard, even if I'm not there.
I'm surprised you left. Honestly, you should just stay down here.
I did.
And then I was like, you didn't leave, so I'm leaving.
I just wanted to make sure you're safe.
Yeah, I did not like being alone. I don't like being alone in this house when like he's not here because I had all the lights on. I was so scared because I hear all the creaks when he's gone. Like again, it was one night we like weren't together, and I hear all the creaks in the house. It scares me, especially now with like a baby. I'd be like, just stay here, even if I didn't like you.
Big houses are like so sus. Like when you're alone. When I house sat for Joey, like he has a lot of like this like big sliding doors or whatever, and I would always be like, even though it's like a rich neighborhood, I'd be like, is someone like I would always like be paranoid, like someone's outside. But rich
neighborhoods like Beverly Hills, those are the ones that do get like broken into. You know, they're the ones that like, sliding glass doors and stuff like that always scare me because of Scream.
Glass window.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Scream.
I had those in Studio City, and I'd always like look out, and I'm just like, what if you just see someone? Like I would freak out. I don't know. We're like on a hill, so like it's like you have to come up. Like we see you on Ring before you come. Like I don't like the idea of just being able to see someone like come into your yard.
Yeah,
I'm like terrified of that. I don't know. That's like my biggest fear. Big houses are scary. I could never live in one by myself. I think I would rather get like a high-rise condo, penthouse, something like that.
Yeah, when you're alone, having like so much like space.
Yeah,
it's like no,
it's scary. We don't even like we're never on separate floors. Like we're always on the same floor. We're always like in the same room. Like if I'm going at the bedroom to charge my phone, like everyone's in the bed charging. You know, like what's weird? We have a big house, but we're never like separate. Maybe when we have more kids, they'll want to be more separate in the house.
Yeah.
But right now we're very family union. If we're all in the kitchen, we're all in the kitchen. If we're
like
all
traveling together.
Yeah, always. I'll be like, I'm gonna go charge my phone, and then like 5 minutes later, they're all up on the bed with me, which is like cute. I love it, but it's big ones are scary. But the Hugh Jackman one's crazy. I just hate breakups in general. I just like I've never broken up with someone. Have you?
Broken up with someone?
Yeah.
No, I've only been in I've been in a lot of situationships. But like as far as actual relationships, I've only been in 2. One I'm still in, the other one I got dumped.
Why'd you get dumped? What did they say? How did it happen?
We moved really quick, and I was like really in it. Cause it was like
old?
my first one. It was 2019, so I was 20, like real relationship. Maybe 27. And or 26. Anyway, but I remember like I went to his house. He like lived down the street from like my work, whatever. So I'd work, and then I go to his house, and we just like hang out with like his roommates or whatever. And his 2 roommates like loved me, but And they're both Trish stans. Actually, we'd watch
No
it. Yes,
way, the
so they're probably
roommates?
watching now.
Oh my God. Wait, do you still keep in touch with them?
Not like we follow each other on Instagram, but not.
Do you ever think like, I always think this like, right? Like, real quick, just a sidetrack real quick. But like when I did Donny Osmond and we sang Joseph, all I could think about is like, oh my God, they're going to see this too. Okay. Like I grew up in a small town and we always put on Joseph because it was like a small conservative town. So we were always putting on Joseph. And I never got casted as any of the big parts. Even when I was high school, like I never got casted to be in anything. I was always just like in the choruses. And I just remember, and my relatives were like the director. They were kind of like in charge of the thing. So I honestly should have had the in, right? Like to be, anyways, they never casted me. And I was always so bitter about it. So when I was doing the Donny Osmond and I was singing Joseph with him, all I could think of was like, Byron Civic Theater, eat your heart out. Look at me singing with the Joseph. You know what I mean? Like and like I know they see it too. And like this sounds so bad because they're like, oh wow, we really are getting hurt. And it really did get to me, Byron Civic Theater. But I was never casted as like a lead. I was always a background orphan in Annie, a background actor in The Music Man, like the Munchkin in The Wizard of Oz, but never the main one. Like, and my uncle and aunt was like a Happily Apartment.
You should have been the Nepo baby. Huh? You didn't get Nepo baby privilege.
I was not a Nepo baby. I was like the opposite. I was like a black sheep, like go be in the back. And because I was mid-talented. I wasn't the most talented, but I could have at least been like the president of Munchkin Land or something. I didn't have to be Dorothy. And I was always background. And I was like, I think I was a crow in The Wizard of Oz. I'm like, who the heck is a crow? But it was bad. So when I was singing with Donnie and I was singing, most of the time I replay that clip over and over. I'm like, this is the magic. This is my whole life accumulated to this. So I always think, look at me now. So do you ever, not to compare myself to that situation, where you're thinking like, no, wow, they're watching me and they're like, look, I'm co-hosting with Trish.
I honestly think so. Because they would put you like on the TV and we would just like say, yeah, they would like.
Were you making fun of me?
No, like genuinely like loved, like genuine like little fishies.
Kissies for my fishies.
Yeah, so it was like because they were like all in. They loved like the whole sphere at that time. You know, when Dramageddon happened, it was like it was like CNN like 9/11 coverage,
watching
like,
everything. Yes.
Was
I in that? I wasn't in Dramageddon. Was I?
No, but it was just like the associates.
People circling.
Yes,
yeah,
the
right.
associates.
Yes.
But so I'm sure they're keeping up. Yeah.
The Dramageddon. I remember that day.
Historic.
May 10th. You're talking about the first one.
The first one.
I remember when I think was it the Tati video dropped May 10th. One of them dropped May 10th. And I literally just like overdosed on meth. So I wanted to go to Shane's house. And he was just more concerned about James Charles and Tati making this video. And I was like, but my therapist said I should probably be around friends. And they didn't care. I mean, I don't know if you knew the severity of it, but I just remember being like, he's like, no, this is happening. And like his cameraman was filming him. And I was just like, oh, this is not the time for me to tell you about my meth overdose. On May 8th of 2019, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
My God.
I literally was like bleeding from my nose, and they're just like, maybe they didn't know the severity of it. I'm going to give them the benefit. But I just remember, and he's like, no, James Charles just made a video back. Like, it was this, we have to cover it right now because it's when he was doing documentaries. And I was just like, oh, wow. That's when you kind of know. You're kind of like, oh, maybe we're not like the friends I thought we were.
Holy shit. That is wild.
Yeah, that was so dark. That was crazy. May 8th through May 10th of 2019, like I was just getting bombarded by hate video after hate video. Nick Akato ghosting, PewDiePie making video, like just so many hate videos. And I'm just like, let me just finish it. You know what I mean?
Oh my God.
Yeah, and like literally no one cared. And then I was like, let me maybe go to therapy and something and try to figure this out. But
holy shit.
Yeah, anyways.
What a time. Oh my God. So that was like... That really was like...
I wasn't... That's what I'm saying. I wasn't like... I was so out of the world of what was happening at that time, so I didn't know.
In it.
Yeah, I wasn't in it. I was like, what the hell is happening? So I still don't know.
Oh my God, that is wild, dude.
Yes. Oh my God. 2019 was rough. When I tell you I don't remember 2019, I don't remember 2019. Like, it was the roughest year ever. And before that, I was so sober. Like, 2016, 2017, 2018, I was like so sober. The whole time I was in the Vlog Squad, sober. Never drank, nothing. I was just like completely sober. I don't know. People, they try to like slander me like later on and be like, she was on drugs. And I was like, no, that was after I left the group. That's when I started spiraling. But, yeah. Anyways, back to the stands, the roommate stands.
That is hard to segue back to after you just like blew my mind. But wow, that's tea.
No one ever reached out. I was like spiraling and everyone, like no one cared. They're just like, okay.
Everyone's like, yeah, the bi sister of it all was like,
yeah. James Charles, James and Tati. I was like, oh my God, so sorry. Let me just not interrupt anything.
And he did it at her birthday dinner,
And he did it at her birthday dinner. And it was my birthday. Which
my
they didn't come
God.
to. Oh my God, that's what it was. No, that was a year where I really was just like, no one came to my tour that was my friends.
Yeah.
Then I had like a supposedly close circle of friends back then. No one came to my tour. No one came to my birthday dinner. And I was just like, wow, that's like really, I have no friends.
Oh my God.
So that's what I should have known. I was just like, wow, no one came.
Oh shit. May was like,
So when people are like, oh, you had such good friends and this person, I'm like, no, I didn't really. You know what I mean? And it's fine. I let it go, but you know.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But back to your roommates.
Oh my God.
So he broke up with you.
Yeah. This in May of 2019 too, around the same time.
God, what was happening?
May 2019 dark.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah. I remember like I went to his house and then like his roommates were all excited. Like his roommates didn't know he was gonna break up with me then.
Oh.
So it was really awkward because it was like, you know, I was sitting with them in the living room having a good time and then he's like, hey, like let me talk to you for a sec. And then he pulled me into like his bedroom and then he sat me down and was like, so I think that like I forgot how he did it, but something along the lines of like better off as friends, something. And I remember being like so blindsided. I was like,
really?
There was no like warning or anything.
You didn't
really
feel a pull away.
No.
How long were you together?
Not long. That was May. We were together since December. I guess like 5 months. Yeah. So not like super long. But yeah, it was. And then I remember like just being like so embarrassed because his roommates didn't know and his roommates were there. And I remember just like crying and leaving the house and they were looking so confused. Like obviously at that point they knew. But it was, and then I remember like crying on the car home, like being so embarrassed. Like, and that was, I remember I called my friend too, and I was like, crying, like, I'm so embarrassed. And she was, the realest advice she ever said was like, if your first thought after a breakup is being embarrassed, then like, he really was not the right guy.
That's true.
Which was tea. Yeah.
That's actually so true. Yeah, because like, you always think, like, I thought that too with breakups. I'm like, oh man, you gotta tell like your family. And it's like, yeah, like.
Because it was like the first like relationship, so I was like, let me like I was, you know, like posting and stuff, so like very public about it. So I was very embarrassed about that too. I'm like, oh my God, then everyone's gonna, you know, if I stop posting, everyone's gonna know, blah, blah, blah.
Oh, there's people I follow that are not even like influencers, and I always am like, I think they broke up. I think I show Moses as one couple that literally are not influencers at all, and I'm so into their drama. Like, he was married with kids and then got with this girl, but now they're broken up, and she's like all sad about it, but he's like moved on. Like, I get so invested. I'm like, oh my God, they broke up. Like, you know, just random people.
Yeah, I don't know. And then that's when I entered like my like, I'm gonna like go out and date like as much as possible. Like, I'm gonna get hotter. That's the one good thing about heartbreak is it will make you hotter.
That's true. I did get skinnier in 2019.
I told myself this morning, I was like, I think mentally I need to like somehow be in a relationship but also be heartbroken to make myself get like when I'm working out or whatever, be like think that I'm heartbroken.
Oh my God,
to, like,
no.
drive
I feel
me.
like when I think back mentally to being heartbroken, it's like I'd rather be 600-pound sisters. You know what I mean? Like all day long. Because sometimes I get hard on myself now. I'm just like, oh man, I'm like fat. I've gained weight. But I'm like, God, I've never been like happier. You know, I have dinner to eat with someone every night. They want to be around me. He like cooks for me. Like, you know, just like, I don't know. I had a weird like spiral on Saturday. Was it Saturday night? Yeah, it was Saturday night. And I just was like, I don't know. I started feeling bad about myself and fat and just everything like that. So I don't know. I just like went and like laid on the bathroom floor for like a couple hours just after Malibu went to bed or whatever. And then Moses, like, it was like 10 o'clock at night, which we never eat that late. And he made like spaghetti and meat sauce because he knew I didn't eat. And he's just like, come eat. And I was like, no, I'm going to sleep, whatever. I was just like so upset, just like at myself or whatever. And so then he like turns on the lights to where I was sleeping and brings like the pasta up. He's like, well, you have to eat. I was like, all right, well, let me just come downstairs. I'm going to eat. So then I went downstairs. I'm like, I'm not hungry, but I'm going to come down here, whatever. And then he stopped eating. So I was just like, oh, okay, fine. And then once I ate, I was like so much happier. And then I like cuddled and I was just like, okay, everything's fine. But it is one of those things where I'm just like, God, I don't think I'd ever want to be back there mentally. Even though I looked better, I still was like, I was
miserable,
so miserable. Yeah. And like not eating makes me miserable. And like heartbreak is the worst and feeling unloved and unwanted and embarrassed.
Yeah.
And you found someone and I get it. But I think like if they don't have an issue with your weight, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
It's just tough. I think there probably is a healthy. Like in my head, I'm so extreme. I know in my head, I'm so extreme. It's like I either have to be happy and fat or heartbroken and miserable and skinny. But I think there really is a balance. Realistically, I think there's a space in the middle where you could be like happy and like have a good diet and work out and just, you know.
It's so hard. Yeah. Because we just like love to eat like good food and I'm just like,
I think that our personalities are also very extreme.
Yeah.
Like I can never just like something. I have to like be all in, you know.
Me too.
I can never just not just like I'm not good at being neutral.
Yeah. I'm also very like, okay, after we're done having kids, then I'll get lipo. Then, you know what I mean? Like, I'm very that. I'm like, well, I have to eat to be healthy to have babies. You know, I don't know. Like, I get that mentality too. I don't know. It is such a struggle.
Yeah. We'll find the balance one day, I think.
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah.
I don't know. We went on a whole thing of, the breakup. Well, that's why I say, unpopular opinion, I don't mind a breakup like a ghosting breakup? Just stop talking to me.
I don't know. I'm very.
You want to know?
I'm very. I'm like nosy and I'm confrontational, which is not like a great.
You're
combination.
confrontational?
I have like
No.
when the thing with me is like when I get like when there's like a disrespect thing or when like someone actually triggers me, I'm like very, very confrontational. Like,
really?
Yeah. Like I had someone when I was like
in person?
Yeah. Like I had a like a situationship kind of where like it felt like, I don't know, it was kind of relationship-y, like we were kind of together, you know, but it wasn't like superficial. But anyway, they cheated or whatever, and then they admitted it, and then I confronted him about it, and then I called the guy that knew that we were like a thing. And I called and I was like, if you ever do something like this to me again, like I will be outside your door. Like I was very like,
oh my gosh, yeah. But it wasn't his fault.
No, I mean both of them got it from me.
Because even if you know, it's still not your fault.
Both
it's the one committed to you.
Both of them were getting the heat though. I was like, no one is getting away scot-free.
No, the one who is committed to you should get the heat. The other one, who cares? I was like, you know, like they're just like, whatever, I don't care. Like that's your thing.
And to me, it was because it was like a slow build. It was like, you know, hanging out together. It was that kind of thing where it's like, it felt more personal at the time. But needless to say, like I actively choose to be like nice and like polite. But the second there's like I don't know, there's like a switch where like I am not afraid to like confront someone and like get in the face about it and like make it known that this will not stand. I don't know. It's very rare, but it happens. Yeah.
I'm not confrontational that way at all. Like I just don't like any confrontation. I just rather. Honestly, but this is what I'm saying. Okay, I ghost people because I think that's like, I'd rather have you ghosted. You know what I mean? Like, I'll just stop talking to someone because I'm like, that's what rather than tell them what the issue was. Especially, was I dreaming this or something else? I must have been dreaming this where someone wanted to know the issue, like why I didn't like them. But it was like, I'd rather them just like think that I like them than tell them the issue why I don't like them. You know what I mean? I wouldn't want to know why you don't like me. Just don't like me. Just don't talk to me. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's weird.
I don't know. For me, it's like, well, if I in a situationship where it wasn't, especially if it's not like super like long or like personal, whatever, I would probably ghost. But because it's hard for me to like do the dumping, I guess. But if someone were to do it to me, I would not want to be ghosted. Like I think people have tried to ghost me, but I just refuse the ghosting. I'm like, no, you're gonna fucking sit there and tell me what the.
But if they don't respond to you,
I'll text and I'll fucking show up at the door.
Oh my God.
Yeah, this is like me younger, but I'm a journalist. I need the answers. I need to investigate.
You're an actual journalist. Yeah. Like you went to school, you have an Emmy.
Yeah, so I'll be investigating. Like I'll be on boots on the ground. Like let me get to the bottom of this mystery.
Oh my God. Yeah.
I don't like a mystery. Like I need to know.
You need to know. Yeah. I'd rather just not know.
I don't know. It's so hypocritical, but I would do the ghosting. But then when it comes to it, like I want like the answers.
I would say ghost me all day long. Like I don't want to know. Just ghost me. I think that's the better way. I don't know. I just like don't want to know if you don't like me. Like okay. I just like to say also too, like if I get ghosted, I'd just like to be like, well, they're going through something. So I never think about it as like me. I'm like they're going through it. You know what I mean?
That's a good way to look at it. That's probably healthier.
Which is also true. Like when I've ghosted people, it's like I really am like going through something. So I feel like that's how I like to look at it. I don't know.
But so I do like a little conversation now and then too. That's why with like when everyone was coming at you, I was like, God forbid someone like show up in person. Especially, I pick and choose my battles. Like someone I could actually fight. God forbid someone I could actually fight because I would.
You would fight in person?
I could beat someone up for sure. Like I said, I'd choose my battles. Like I couldn't. Dylan Dennis, I don't think I could beat up. But
oh my gosh!
Definitely one of these little T channels that like I definitely. Could take them on. Oh my
God! Boxing T channels. That'd be crazy.
There we go.
I wonder if they would do it.
Oh my God. I don't even want to say anyone's names, but
no,
you know.
Don't summon anybody.
But like they know and I know.
Oh my God.
And I'd be happy to do it. Oh my God. That'd be fun.
Oh my God. Wait, you would go with the T channels? No.
Yeah, I would do it.
Oh my gosh,
I would take one I would do it for you.
No.
Yeah. I mean, really it'd be fun.
That would be crazy. You'd have like you'd have like boxers that look like this. Like when you're fighting, like fuzzy boxers. That would be so cute.
It would be cute.
That's wild. Boxing is such a wild thing now that everyone's like boxing. Like everyone's doing it.
Which leads us to like straight man news.
Straight man news. Straight man news. It's like a news report. Where it's like right? Straight man news.
Yeah. So now there's tea with Logan Paul and Dylan Dennis.
I'm like kind of over this because
Me too.
Like I see it on my For You page all the time, and I'm just like
just fight already. Like I'm sick of it. Why have they been chatting about fighting for like it feels like a year?
When is it? When is it happening?
It's supposed to be October 14th.
Is it like a pay-per-view?
Yes.
I think it has to be all publicity, right? Like,
especially now Logan Paul is saying that Dylan Dennis is trying to get out of the actual boxing match.
Because he has to go to court?
Because of the lawsuit stuff. Yeah.
What does that even make sense? How would that get out?
A couple days ago, on September 23rd, Dylan Dennis tweeted that he didn't sign up for a sue-off and said, F this nonsense, which caught the attention of Logan. And Logan went off and said, this dude is whining on Twitter, talking about they're suing me. I've got lawsuits at the ass. I don't know if I want to do this anymore. Logan said, shut up, stupid. Trying to use a completely unrelated lawsuit that a woman is trying to hold you accountable for committing a federal crime because you stalked her ass and cyberbullied her as an excuse to pull out of the fight. Okay, T, we love that he's supporting his fiance.
Yes, love that, of course.
But oh my God.
I mean, like, I think it's all, again, it's a Taylor Swift thing, just all promotion.
If they don't, do you think they will fight or not fight?
Yeah, of course. Like, of course they're going to fight. They probably got so much money on it. Like, it's one of those things, again, where I feel like they don't care who wins or loses. They're all getting paid at the end of the day. You know what I mean? Like, I would...
But, I don't know, maybe with, like, the Nina stuff, now it's, like, a little bit more personal for Logan now. Do you think? Because, I mean, now that she sued him, I feel like that must mean that she was actually pissed, right?
I'm so torn on all this. Like, on one hand, it just seems like all of it's just staged, right? Like...
But I think if she sued him...
I don't know.
Because I think he definitely crossed, like, many lines.
For sure. Like, even if it's fake, like, that's what I've always said. Like, even if it's fake, like, it's still, like, I don't know if I would be okay with that being, like, I'm at my expense. So, maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe that's, like, a bad take for me on that. Maybe she really is. But...
I don't know. I think at first, I think it was all probably, like, ha-ha, hee-hee. And then once Dylan crossed the line and made it, like, personal against... Nina, maybe now Logan like is gonna really win just to like, you know, honor.
Yeah, they're making Dylan to be the villain. Oh my God, rhymes. I love when that rhymes. But like I think they do that on purpose because it was always set up for Logan to win. Yeah. So Dylan's just being this villain and just going with it.
I just want the thing to happen already, and it's
I know. I'm so over it too.
Why are we chit-chatting? I just don't understand. Like, why do we have to promo this thing literally all year long?
But everyone's talking about it, including us, where we're like, this is so stupid, but then it's on my For You page.
I know, so I feel like we have to. And it's like influencery, so I guess we have to, but it's like... Oh my God, just do it. Just, I don't even care if it's in the ring. Just like punch each other already.
Yeah, just punch each other. I feel like Logan too is like, he has so much money. Like he wrestles and box. Like, you know what I mean? And he does, I don't know if he still does crypto, but he's doing crypto. I think the podcast is done though, right? Impulsive is done.
I have not heard a single thing about
Impulsive. I think I saw Mike Malak be like, it's going to be over.
I haven't heard that name in Mike Malak I haven't heard in years.
Wait, really?
Yeah, is he still around?
He's like one straight guy I follow.
Is he still around?
He kind of makes like a lot of views on his little, I think there's like this core audience. I was asking Moses the other day, I was like, I don't get it. Who's watching it? Granted, I'm watching it, but I know it's not meant for me. But I'm like, who is watching this? But like, I think it's like this one person on YouTube that like 10-year-old boys probably watch, right? Or 13-year-olds or whatever. And they're just thinking he's like so cool. He gets these porn star chicks and like he's eating burgers and I don't know. Like he seems kind of like the vision of like, and he's friends with Logan Paul. So right, is that the appeal? Like he just has a lot of women around,
like alpha male, like
kind of Dan Bilzerian vibes, but not like aggressive. But like he's like the boys' boy, I guess, or the man's man. I don't know. I think there's, and I don't think there, maybe there is, but I just don't feel like there's that niche. Like Logan used to be that, Jake used to be. I feel like there's not anybody for like these teenage boys, which they don't need more alpha male energy. But I think there's nobody like that. So Mike is kind of that person, and like I think Mike is really nice, but obviously again not meant for me. But I'm just always like, it's a weird category of YouTube. But maybe it's like the gamers, because he's friends with like Aiden Ross, a name I hear all the time. I have no idea who that is, but I just know he's really popular because I always hear Aiden Ross, and Mike is always with Aiden. Oh. And he's also with like Jeff. He kind of like, I don't know, he's one of those master finaglers. You know, people who are always in, Tana's great, but she's a great example. Like she can be in like any group and it makes sense. And he's smart that way because, you know, you stay relevant then. And not Tana's her own entity, but she would always be in like all the groups, like James Charles, like just every group, Vlog Squad, and it just like always made sense. Yeah. So maybe he's like that. But yeah, he's still around. He makes these vlogs and just living life. And
I love being completely ignorant to like straight male like influencers. It's so fun. Like not knowing about what's like these straight influencers are up to brings me so much peace, and I love it.
Same, because I do watch Mike's vlogs, and again, they're not meant for me, and I'm kind of like, oh, like I know he respects women, of course, but to me, it always feels a little ick. You know, I don't know. Like when he was dating Lana Rhoades, like the way he, and again, they're friends, whatever. Like it's fine, but for me, it's like the round table of people. When guys ask girls about their sex life, to me, in like 2023, I'm like, it's kind of gross. It's giving Howard Stern in the 90s, and even Howard Stern is like, that's gross. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It just feels weird and uncomfortable, and it's just, I don't know. I don't like straight guys.
No, I'm glad
Except
that.
Don Yasmin. Yeah, it's kind of weird. I don't know.
One idea I did have, this is semi-related, is I feel like we should have, besides Moses, like a straight man ambassador almost.
No.
Like a straight man, mostly because I have a crush on him, Ted Nivison. I don't even know that's how I pronounce his
Did we talk
last
about
name.
him before? Is this the one you always talk about?
This is what you asked me who my celebrity crush was one time. He's the only one I could think of.
Is he a YouTuber you started watching?
He's a YouTuber, yes. He's straight.
No idea.
He wears glasses. He has a sweet smile. He has dark hair.
No, he can't be our straight representative if he wears
I want
glasses.
him to be our straight ambassador.
No,
because he's cute.
No, we have a straight ambassador. What's his name? I like this guy, the tech guy. What's his name? I forget his name.
Marquez Brownlee.
Oh,
Marcus
yes.
Brownlee.
I know him because he always wins the streaming for the tech category.
Oh, he
Yeah.
does?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
He wins like every year.
Does he show up?
Yeah, he always comes to get his streaming.
It's crazy to see him. I don't know how old he is now, but he like started when he was like 12.
He's been doing it forever.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I like him. I like his vibe. I don't even care about tech or anything like that. I just like his vibe. Like he's a straight guy. I don't know. We don't know if he's straight,
He's
but I
all
think
these videos from 15 years ago, and he was 13 years old.
Oh my
Isn't that
god.
crazy?
He's really like self-made. It's amazing.
yeah. No, I really like him. Sometimes I can't get out around hype. Like I didn't know he was so hyped. I just recently discovered him, but I like him. I didn't know he was so hyped. But like, I tried to watch a Jay Shetty podcast. I'm not trying to shit on Jay Shetty because everyone loves him. But it was so different than I thought. Like he doesn't talk much.
Oh, really?
Have you ever watched one of his podcasts?
No.
It's interesting, but I think it's not a bad thing because I think with the podcast, like it's always good to let your guests talk. But it's almost like they cut him out talking, period. And I think they do it on purpose because Moses was watching it with me. I was just like, he will maybe say like one question, one line, and then the guest will and every guest. So it's not just like one guest that talks a lot. It's like every guest. And I know certain guests that don't talk on other people's podcasts, but it makes it look like they're talking for 30 minutes straight. And then Jay Shetty like comes in with like, oh. Like literally, and then they keep talking. That's what he does. And I'm just like, wait, this is so bizarre. And again, he gets deep with them. So I guess that's why people like him.
I think
But
maybe he's not there. They filmed him. You know, he does all his filming ahead of time.
right. It's almost like they edit him in.
And then, yeah, maybe he's a AI or something.
No,
maybe he's
not that. But I think, like, for real, it's very odd. It's like a very weird edit. You never seen this podcast?
No,
Because he gets like Kim Kardashian, Selena Gomez. Like he gets really big people on there.
I know. He officiated Ben Affleck's and Jennifer Lopez's wedding.
What?
Yeah.
Where did he come from? And
I
why
don't
is
know.
he so popular?
I see his book at Target, but I don't engage myself. So
Is he straight?
I think so. I think he's married, I want to say, but I could be making that up as well.
Like he seemed to come out of nowhere, so I was like, let me watch him. And it's like not even a diss because it's like, okay, you do learn a lot about the guest. It's just an interesting style, and they just jump right into it. There's no like personable anecdote in there. Like it's very interesting. He talks a lot about touring. Like he'll like jump in and be like, yeah, when I'm touring, like he talks a lot. I don't know. It's just interesting what becomes huge. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then I also wonder, like, oh, he must get a lot of downloads because, like, he gets more views than us. But I'm just saying, like, his views aren't, like, 2 million.
Yeah, I think for that audience, it's very, like, listen, like, right?
Download.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't even know this was a thing, but I wish you guys would listen to us on Spotify because I want to. Is that how you get up on the charts?
Yeah.
Do they have to download the episode?
I think you just have to stream, like, just play.
Can you guys please listen to us on Spotify?
And also give us 5 stars.
5 stars on Apple Podcasts.
And Spotify.
And they get 5 stars on there. Please. Spotify did not want my podcast, so please give us to the top.
Stick it to the
We'll
man.
never be over at Joe Rogan, Call Her Daddy, or Alex Earl because they're with Spotify. They're in the inside, but I think we could maybe get the 4th. Well, Mel Brittany Borowski's 4th, so we'll go below her. We'll do 5th. We'll put us down there. I would love that. You know what I mean?
Top 10 at least.
No, top 5.
Okay, period. Yeah. Sure,
not
let's
top
take it.
10. Oh my
Wow, you put us
God.
like...
Yeah, 5 is where we're at.
Okay,
5 is fine. But yeah, that's crazy. When I saw on the charts, I was like, and ours sticks out because we had this little pink and white thing. It just looks so cute on there. I was like, look at us with our little. And also, I'm like the only person that uses like my name besides Joe Rogan, right? Like, I don't think anyone else puts their name in the title.
Yeah, or it's always like a title and then with so-and-so.
Right. I think they do that for like trademark purposes because when we did oversharing, there were so many oversharing, so like you have to put with whatever.
Like Emma Chamberlain or whatever. Yeah.
Right. Because there's no original podcast name anymore. Like everybody, like literally every single word, verbiage, everything is taken. It's like actually crazy. So that's why I was like, let me just go to Just Trish because I feel like Dish with Trish was even taken. I think someone with like a food podcast or something. Like everything is like taken. So I like to put my name in it, but I was always told by like managers, marketing, it's like, no, don't use your name. You want to be a brand that's not about your name. I'm like, no, my brand is Just Trish. When we do merch, it's gonna be Just Trish. People are gonna wear my name on it. You know, I just always love that marketing. You know what I mean? Just your name should be on it. But Super Bowl, the headliner is For the Straights. Sorry, gays and gals. I guess girls like him. Not this girl.
Kim Kardashian loves Usher.
I just getting paid to promote him because they also, that was like a storyline in one of the Kardashians.
Yeah.
And it was this whole thing. And then they ended up not going, oh my God, our plane had to be turned, which maybe was true. But I was just like, you didn't even go to Usher and you're promoting this Usher concert.
Keke Palmer loves Usher.
That's
so
what I'm saying.
I don't know.
It feels a little promo because where did Usher come from all of a sudden? Like I loved him back in like 2003.
I guess his Vegas residency has been like a hot ticket because I've seen a lot of celebrities, like Zendaya was at Usher, like Keke. I've seen a lot of celebrities like be there and be excited.
Sing one Usher song.
My boo, my boo, my boo, my boo, my boo, my boo.
Oh, you recognize it?
Was he? Yeah. Was that Usher? What? I'll be singing. Yeah.
Oh,
was that him? That was Usher, I think.
That's what we're talking about.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was him.
I'll be singing, I think it's also like Little John with Usher.
Oh, period. Okay. The people I follow obviously are not going to be excited, but I think there's a large majority of people who are like into it, especially people who are watching football, I think, right? Like
they love Usher.
Because he's a straight guy and he's like, I don't know, I feel like his music is very straight coded, right?
Yeah, but so is The Weeknd. Why is he not headlining?
He did. What? I tell you every episode that The Weeknd headlined the Super Bowl.
No, before Usher?
2021, I think.
No. Why did we not watch this on YouTube? Oh my God. Wait, what? Okay, so The Weeknd is like the new Usher. So they've already gotten The Weeknd, so they're like, well, we'll get Usher.
Yeah. The rumor was like Miley, Demi, and Selena, which would be like, wow, that would have really got me good.
Okay. Not to be misogynistic, but no. Like, what? No, that's not nostalgia. That's not current. That's nothing.
What do you mean it's not nostalgia? Like Party in the USA?
Nostalgia for who? 20-year-olds?
Yeah.
No, like 23-year-olds were like, I remember this 5 years ago. This was so good. Like, that's not nostalgia. Dr. Dre is like, I don't even remember that. You know what I mean? That's crazy. No. We stick with Usher then, okay? No, what a mess that would be. Who was it? Demi, Miley, and who?
Selena, like the Disney girls.
No.
I would have
name one Selena Gomez song.
Are you
Besides
serious?
Single Soon.
Oh my! Kill him with kindness.
Sing it.
Kill him with kindness. Kill him. Go.
Sounds like the Usher song you're singing. You just sing
I love you like a love song.
Okay.
A Year Without Rain.
Oh my God. Okay, Selenator over here.
Selena Marie. That is my girl. Selenator.
Okay.
Like,
oh, you do love her because a lot of people are kind of anti-Selena.
A lot of people are anti-Selena, but I will stay with.
And you don't watch Only Murders in the Building?
I do. I don't live for it, but this season I live for the other seasons.
That's how I feel too. This season's a little slow. But.
Yeah, but Selena has a good discography. You gotta.
I guess
get into it.
I was too old for it. Maybe she's a little bit.
Yeah,
but not for the Super Bowl.
But yeah, I don't think I don't think Selena headlines too. I think if she like had a song with like Miley and Demi because they're like good vocalists. Like
she never sang with The Weeknd. Not to be patriarchy, but she never sang with The Weeknd.
No. Ariana did. Oh, Ariana maybe could have done like
for sure Ariana.
Maybe Miley Ariana. That could have been
just Ariana, period. Yeah. I don't like the idea of females having to like do it together.
But I think there's something really like when Ariana, Miley, and Lana Del Rey did that song together, I think there's something so cool about them coming together too.
But I think to make the statement
for younger acts though, I was like if Rihanna, I think or like Beyonce.
Of course, Lady Gaga.
Yeah. But I think for like the younger like millennial acts, I think it kind of would be cool to have them, especially because they grew up together. I don't know. It's kind of cool.
Maybe in like 20 years or something.
I guess so. Yeah, when they're older.
Yeah.
Like maybe like late 30s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just Demi being like, this is real. This is me. That would be iconic. Joe Jonas come in his white pants. Not Joe Jonas. He was everything wrong with Camp Rock. Demi Lovato was everything great about Camp Rock. Because she did have some bops in that song. She was good. Yeah.
If you were headlining the Super Bowl, do you know what your medley would be for like 13 minutes?
Freaky and I Love You, Jesus. And I would do extended cuts. Because those are my only two songs anyone cares about. I would be like, touch like you mean it.
In my head, the intro, okay, like, you know, the big dramatic intro would be, freak for freak, boom, 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 freak for freak, boom, 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 freak to get freak, get, boom, 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 fireworks.
Okay, that's very Shakira coded. With the yeah, okay, like that.
And then you get into this. It's like big intro, and then freaky. I Love You, Jesus. I thought would be the second to last song, and then I think you would have to release a new album to go in February to like coincide with your Super Bowl release.
No, I would bring Hillary Duff out and be like, "Hey now, this is our dreams." That would be ours.
Oh my God,
that'd be our. And then The Weeknd, we would do a song with him.
Yes. Okay.
He said he's doing one last collaboration. Maybe it's with me.
Trish, yeah. Period.
I teased something about I manifested something big over the weekend, and everyone's like, "What is it?" And someone's like, "Did you do a song with The Weeknd?" I was like, I didn't manifest it, but I will now, I guess. I was like, that's very random. I was like, love that though. I love how big people dream for me. I love it. Like the fact that someone really thought that. Like that weren't trolling. They were being like so serious. I was like, oh my God, that's everything.
Yeah, every time you say you're excited about a guest, everyone thinks it's Brittany.
Oh, wow. Geez. If it's Brittany, like I wouldn't even tweet. I would just stay silent because I don't want anything to ruin it. I don't want my thoughts to ruin it. I don't want people to ruin it. I would just drop it. If it's Brittany, it's just going to drop one day. You're going to see her and me and like Britney Spears reveals on.
Period.
Yeah.
Yeah. There'd be a Latina break for like Spanish, maybe Spanish Freaky or a different Spanish song. Yeah.
Yeah. Bring out like Cali Uchis
King Tut would have to be in there at some point.
Okay, Steve Martin comes out for that with his banjo. Buried with the donkey.
There's so much.
And then we could do the Pickwick triplets from only like, we could do a little remix. I went to the Pickwick triplets, did it with the crew commit the crime.
I'm not even kidding. We need to do for a Super Bowl, like when we do the show, we have to have like Trish halftime. And we have to produce like the Trish halftime show.
For what? Just for us?
Just for us.
Like here? Yeah. What would we do? So I'm performing here on the stage?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's think some more on the songs.
Yeah. But yeah, that would be iconic.
We got to edit our little movie trailer for this.
Yes,
There's so much to edit.
I know. We have to do our little commercials.
You went away on vacation for a week? I was like, wait, trolls?
Our little commercials. Oh. Yeah, to promote when the merch line comes out.
Oh, yeah. Well, definitely that. We'll do something cool.
Trish water, we got to do
Trish water, that's not for sale, but it is very tasty. Yeah. I love the idea of this. We waited like, how long did we? I got these like right away. Like from day one, I ordered these. They just took like 6 weeks to come in.
But thank God we have them now.
I love it. I just like the idea of it. I don't know. Places when you used to go places, they used to have branded water, and they don't have that anymore.
No one has that anymore.
Yeah, maybe because the plastic's like carbon footprint or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
We recycle here at Just Trish.
Yeah, actually, honestly. Oh, I'm like that with these kind of things. Even though we literally have 500 bottles, I like to reuse them. I like to fill these up. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Global
don't know. I always
warming.
think I'm going to run out, even though we have Sad Boy water for like the next 10 years. I'm always like, what if we run out? I don't know. But good for Usher. I'm glad he's having a moment. Like, I do love when people come back around and have their moment. Like, I really, even though Britney hasn't gone anywhere and people are so obsessed with Britney, I think like just having a Britney Spears halftime show, like people would gag. Like she'll still kill it. She'll still do her little twirl. She'll still be amazing. Like, I don't know. I'm ready for that.
She hasn't done her own, right?
No, she performed with like Aerosmith.
Or Steve Martin. What's his name?
Steven Tyler.
Steven Tyler, yeah.
Yes. Steve Martin.
Steve Martin. That would be a show.
Oh my gosh, Steve Martin at the halftime show. That'd be everything. That'd be kind of iconic. Him and Selena Gomez come out. Martin Short, they all do a little bit.
The crime.
Yes, that'd be kind of everything, actually. Oh man, I feel like we always end on like such serious drama.
I know, but we have to. We gotta like be silly and then end on the.
I know, because like to bring it up at the beginning, I'm like, oh my God,
yeah, it's a downer for the rest.
It's a downer, but it's not a downer because like I like love Tana. But you know what? Can I say like it's such a weird thing because let's talk about it. So everyone was like, okay, I don't even know. This is so funny to me. Because, truly, like, I love to gossip. I love, what do we call this? Kiki. I love to kiki. I love to gossip. Is that still a term? Or is it like the old gays use it? I'm like one of those. Like, I'm like, let's kiki. I love to do it. I love to gossip. Like, this is my dream job. Like, it's so cool. It's like, it does well. It's like that. Like, I love it. So, but truly, after we do these, I, like, don't really think about any of the topics anymore. Like Usher, or I do think about The Weeknd constantly. But everything else, I'm just like, don't care. You know what I mean? It's like, because it's not that serious. But for some reason, this like was bothering me over the weekend, but it didn't bother me initially. So Tana and Brooke on Canceled had JoJo Siwa. And I was getting a lot of comments on like TikTok and stuff like that. Just like, oh my gosh, all this stuff like that. I was like so confused. Then I saw a text from Tana and she's like, oh my gosh, like she's like, I'm so sorry. We had JoJo on like weeks before I didn't even know she defended Colleen. Like what's happening? Like she was doing all this stuff. And my initial text back to Tana was just like, oh, like, I don't care. Like, be friends with who you want to be friends with. And especially a podcast. Like, I want Elon Musk on. I'm sure people are like, yeah, well, who's he? Like, we don't want Elon Musk on. Like, I would interview JoJo. You know what I mean? Like, so to me, it was like not even a thing. I was like, it's a podcast guest. Also, like, it's Tana. She's friends with everybody. Like, she's notorious for that. Being friends with David and Jeff at the same time. Like, that's just her. So, and also I'm like 35. I'm not going to be like, don't be friends with this person. Whatever. I don't know. So I like thought nothing of it. And then Tana did text me back and she was just like, no, like, I have your back always. Like, I really am your friend, like, all this stuff like that. So I didn't really think about it. And then I was reading the comments and I'm like, oh my God, people are kind of going really harsh on Tana and Brooke for having her on. I do remember when they had her on and it was like a week before she went on the Howie. Like, I remember seeing that they had her there. And I want to say even maybe I DM'd JoJo, maybe, I can't remember, because I told you JoJo DM'd me about the Birkin. I was like, girl, buy the Birkin. You know what I mean? So I'm like, this is very you, whatever. But, so I think it might have even been like, you should come on mine because I didn't even think she would talk about Colleen. Like, to me, she's DMing me, she's separating it. You know what I mean? So I I probably saw that because I saw that they tweeted her car was there or something, or Instagram storied. And that was like, that was like a day or two after she came on ours, which was like weeks ago. So I didn't think about it. And then I saw the comments and I'm like, wow, people are going really in on Tana and Brooke. So like, one, it was filmed before the How We podcast. So that's when even I was just, I still followed her. I unfollowed after the canceled podcast because I started to think about it, and I don't really hold like Tana and Brooke to it, especially because it came out before. And even if it didn't, like, JoJo's just a good guest. She's on a TV show right now. Like, it just like makes sense. But then I don't know. I did get kind of bothered. And people love to be like, stay bothered, stay bitter, all this stuff like that. And it's like, I guess I do get a little bothered because I saw another influencer who's on tour right now kind of like defend Colleen. And it's like, here's the thing, like, I don't think you need to do like this witch hunt, right? But as a public figure who's going to come back, who has fans that still like her, she hurt a lot of people. Like, it did not give an apology, like a true apology, you know what I mean? Or even just a blanket apology, even if it's not true to her, but just to acknowledge, like, this is some messed up stuff, because it's like, it didn't happen to them. So it's very easy. This other influencer was like, well, she's at a low time. Like, don't judge someone on their low time. Or for JoJo to basically be like, these are lies. Everything is lies. To just like, when there's clearly not, there's clearly so many truths out there. It's like, it's really messed up. And I started thinking, like, it's actually crazy, the sending of like my news, like putting me in a position that's like allegedly criminal. Like, again, I haven't seen the text to Adam. I only saw it to Johnny. But it's like, you sent that to like a minor, allegedly. It's like, that's insane. And I saw her do it to her fan, this like 20-year-old boy, gay boy that didn't ask for them. So you're putting me in the middle of this, and that's like such a serious offense. The fact that people are still just, oh, it's drama, it's lies. Oh, people, it's like, it's not drama, it's not lies. You put me in this like really in the middle of this really serious, not only crime but almost an assault, like sending like my unsolicited nudes to like this gay kid that didn't like ask for him. Like, it's insane. And this was real. This is the one she admitted to. This is the one that's out there. So the fact that it's not even like, yeah, you sent me an email, but this is public humiliation. This is something you did publicly for years. Not only are you a coward, as you admitted into the thing, but it's like that. So, but again, taking me out of the equation, like, there's so many other kids that are just like, hey, I felt uncomfortable. So to not have this acknowledgement, to be like, this was a messed up thing. Because at the end of the day, like with like the girl on stage, like, it wasn't a crime. I mean, it could be like assault, could be like, maybe it is a crime. I don't know. But it's like, to not acknowledge that you hurt these people or that like whatever is like insane to me. So I just, like, I guess my issue then comes, and that's why I unfollowed JoJo. It's like, there's so much severity, and there's obviously a lot of backlash. And for JoJo to not even put out a notes tweet to be like, wasn't thinking, I was just trying to defend my friends, something, like, that's when I unfollowed, because I was like, yes, you're still very young. Yes, you're obviously like a victim of this like weird, inappropriate relationship. But it's just like the fact that she just went on living her life like, hey guys, and I get it with drama, like not paying attention to everything, like letting things pass, whatever. But it's like, this is something that you just called everyone a liar. You didn't say there was one truth. You just said they're all lies. Everybody lied, because that's what it was. It wasn't like, oh, things can get out of hand, whatever. It's like, to me, that's ick. And now you got backlash, and you're not going to be like, hey, like, yeah, I wasn't thinking about it. Just bare minimum, because you put your neck out for this person that hurt so many people, individuals who have come forward. It's like, it's crazy. Or the other influencer too that was like on tour defending her, and I'm just like, I get it, you love the person, and like, yeah, like, love them, of course, make sure they're okay and supported, but to go out and just kind of throw that and like, or diminish it and minimize what the severity of it is, like, still what it like bothers me so much. So I don't understand how. And JoJo, that's why I unfollowed her, because I would see her on her story just like, hey guys, like, I'm up, like, as if she didn't like just totally throw all these people's like personal issues and stories like out of the way. Like, it's really weird, and it really did rub me the wrong way. And I was just like, you know what, it does. And not just because she was on there, because again, that was filmed prior and stuff like that. But yeah, I do think in some degree, like, giving someone, just not making a statement, giving her a platform, fine, whatever, if she just doesn't say anything. Like I said, I think it's better to just not say anything. If you love someone and they messed up, just don't say anything about it. But to double down and be like, everyone's a liar, like, these are all lies, that people are just whatever, when they're just clearly not, is just, not only is it like hurtful, disrespectful, but it just makes you look like, what kind of person are you? You know what I mean? Like, that's, I don't know. And there was backlash. She knows what she did was wrong. Sometimes you don't know, and I get it, but then there's backlash, and it's like, to not acknowledge it, like when I did the trans video, like, honestly, like I said, like, I never was my intention to hurt anyone, but the fact that I did hurt people, and then when I saw like how it could come across, then I was like, oh, let me like, and I acknowledged it like right away, because I was just like, and it wasn't like I got caught, it was more like I truly didn't know, and that was like messed up, and still to this day I'm like, I can explain myself, but like it hurt people. So like acknowledge that it hurt people, you know, don't just go living your life being like silly and stuff like that when you're like, there's like really serious like repercussions of this stuff. And like, I don't know. And again, like just the fact that like my nudes are used in a way to like really assault people, you know, just like, I don't know what you're trying to do. Like you're trying to get some sort of like anger out of them or rage, or you're just trying to be mean. I'm not really sure what it is, but it's like, it just feels so beyond ick. It feels, I don't know, it almost, it feels violating, to say the very least. Like it feels so violating. And it's like, it's humiliation on a whole other level. It gets brought up and it gets talked about very willy-nilly because I do it for a living. And it's just like, I don't know. It's just so gross. And to be used in that way, and to be used now is like in a way that's like literally criminal, like allegedly sending it to a child. Like that's like, or even just people who are adults. Like it's just, I don't know. It just feels so, ugh. It's beyond drama, and it's not lies, you know?
Mm-hmm. We always talk about it too. Like there is power in keeping it moving, but that's when it's like Michaela, for example, with that freaking eyelashes.
Yes.
Something where it's like victimless, really, and it's not like a personal, where there's people actually hurt by things that you say or do. Like obviously that's something where it's like, did she do a misstep? Yes. But at the end of the day, is it that serious? No. Keep it moving, you know? But with this one, it's like everyone who had like spoken out about Colleen, you know, and shared their stories and risked like these kids who really risked everything to, you know, come out and speak out against something that they felt that was wrong, you know, and that they were victims of. And then to like belittle that as and invalidate that isn't victimless. That does like really hurt people. And obviously there's like the manipulation going on with JoJo too, but
shame on you.
Exactly. Like you're at that point, you're not ignorant to it because everyone's bringing it to your attention anymore. So you can't just play like the ignorant, like, oh, I didn't know card and keep it moving. And I get it because you know, she's not just JoJo. She's there's so many you can't even go to a single store without seeing a JoJo product. I get that there's like so much behind her, and but
then she should not say anything.
Exactly.
But you said something that was so hurtful. Yeah.
So there's no way she's not seeing it.
No, she sees it.
She sees that there's people hurt, not only the victims themselves, but fans of her who were also supporting the victims and stuff too. If
the majority are telling you like bad take, like evaluate it.
And that's all she would have to do too, is just kind of
make a note. Be like,
and you know,
didn't know the situation. Like, I'm so sorry to people, like whatever.
Yeah.
Because you inserted yourself in this. You didn't have to at all. Mm-hmm. Like, I was never, like, holding it against JoJo, you know? Because I didn't know her relationship with them.
And that, again, goes back to, like, canceled, too. That's why when she was on canceled after all this, too. I mean, we talked about it when she was on. We're like, oh, did that episode come out? I remember we were sitting there talking about, oh, did that come out yet? So when they posted the episode, like, I didn't really think much of it, too. Because at that point, it's like, they filmed the interview already. It's already been edited. Like, each little shoot is so much work. Like, there's so much work. So many people... Especially like a podcast that big. Like you went there. You saw how many people were.
So many people. Coordination, you know, ads. You have to get it approved. Editing, makeup, hair, like location, scheduling someone. So then you're all sitting down. You're both busy. JoJo is a huge talent. And it's just like, yeah, it was. So of course, you put it out. And it was bad time. So then I did say to her, I was just like, I think it was just like the timing of it all. Which is like, what do you do? On one hand, some people would say it's good timing because everyone's talking about JoJo and the Howie, so they think, oh, we'll talk about it here. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And again, like in that podcast too, they didn't bring up the Colleen stuff. And I guess too, like even if at that time, I don't even know if I would have, I don't know, like to me, if we had JoJo like around the same time before the Howie,
would never bring it up.
I wouldn't have even like, just because, I don't know, because she was a child. I don't know. I would have been more interested in like the dance moms, because we were just talking about that.
Yeah,
you know?
Dance moms.
And the child star syndrome of it all. That's what I was...
Well, that's the thing. It's like I always say, like when there's guests come on, I never want to get that serious. Like if Ariana Grande come on, I'm not going to ask her about Ethan Slater. I'm going to ask her about her pink cloud and like why is it pink cloud. But yeah, someone like JoJo, I'm just so curious, but she is still so young and I don't know. I just...
Props to Tana for, you know, going that far to show that, you know, she really didn't mean to like... But when I saw it too, I didn't even like... I kind of knew that you wouldn't like take that personally.
I wouldn't be mad at Tana, of all people. You know what I mean? Like, I hadn't seen any of it. And she was like, oh my God, she was like so apologetic. I'm like, girl, you like never have to like apologize for me. Like you could be friends with like freaking David Dobrik, you know, like it's fine. Like, you know, if you want it, I don't know. It's just, yeah. And then I thought maybe something bad was said about me. So I was like trying to like skim it. And I was trying to figure out, I was like, oh, well, nothing was even said. I get it. And also the people like defending me, like, honestly, I think that's like, it's like refreshing to have people like defending me and stuff like that. It's very nice. But I think more than anything, like I said, even with my cancellations, if you call them that, like just being yelled at to take accountability in so many ways. It's like sometimes it's helpful, especially when you're young. Especially me, I wasn't young. Like when I did the trans, I was like 29. You know, like then you start thinking about wording and like things you should and shouldn't say. And sometimes it helps. So to me, I was like disappointed. She heard this loud and clear and just decided to just keep living her life, not make an apology about it. And yeah, but I don't think it was Tana's fault. And it was obviously before the whole thing. And
people were really hard on Brooke from what I saw in the comments too, and I felt super bad about that too because she had done like an Instagram live where she mentioned being disappointed with JoJo, so people were like, well, why didn't you hold her accountable, whatever. But
it was before, which is like the hardest thing of it all. They should have maybe put like a disclaimer like this was filmed before or something, because so much changed. Which I'm shocked. I'm still shocked JoJo did that to Howie Mandel of all people. Like that's a weird person to open up to.
And I don't like. It seemed very with JoJo like. There's sometimes where she's like very PR like guided, and there's sometimes she goes like off the cusp, and like I know she's done like other interviews with like mainstream news shows, and she literally will say like, oh, like my publicist wouldn't want me to say this, and like she kind of looks and then she still says it anyway. Or sometimes she'll be like without her publicist, like, and she'll just say things off the cusp.
I think this was without her publicist.
This was very like off the cusp, like her being like young and just like fed information, but yeah, it's like the doubling down is what always will get you, because I get misspeaking and not fully realizing the power of what you say, but then when you do realize that, to not acknowledge it is where things go astray.
It was very disappointing, and I did unfollow because it would trigger me a little bit just to be like, I'm just living life, and I'm just like, girl, like, what? I also think like when you're more involved with it, like, I feel like I do have a little bit more involvement where I'm like, the more you like think about it and like process it, it's like, this is crazy. Like, it's just one of those things where I think about it constantly now. At first I was like, I'm not going to think about it. I'm not going to whatever. And you think about it so much, and it's just like, this isn't just, I don't know. I know, poor Tana too. She was like leaving pinned comments and all this stuff like that. She's probably, because she really was like, I don't really, and I get it. Like, you don't keep up, especially if you're not like following or you don't have like this attachment to it or whatever, keeping up. But, it's also the podcast life. Like, I mean, Howie had a great title with it. Like, JoJo talks about Colleen, but it's just a bad take. I don't know. It feels, what's the word? Like, I just know, were we just talking about this? Oh, we were. Okay. Oh my God, this is like the longest podcast ever. Because I was like, we were just talking about this, where you're talking about Pretty Little Liars and the teacher thing.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's like at 20, I still thought it was like cool, right? Because Saved by the Bell had a similar storyline. They were in college, but like she was dating her professor or something like that. So there was always those like storylines. And at 20 years old, I still thought it was cool to brag about like hooking up with teachers or doing whatever with them. Because it's just like you're so still in that. You know what I mean? So I feel like she's still so in it. She still really loves Abby. Obviously still loves Colleen. And it's just like, I don't know. But, and not to say I don't feel sad for her. She's obviously fine. It seems, on the surface, like living life. It's just like one of those things where I wish I could like actually talk to her. But I think she's just too young for it still.
Yeah, I think it'll take time for her to like really process this whole whirlwind.
Yeah, because one who's really vocal about it. Do you know Allison Stoner?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it's on her podcast, and she talks a lot, like heavily. And it's not to say I'm like totally against like child stars, but it's because like Hillary Duff turned out fine, and like certain people turn out fine, but there's so many that don't. And like Allison Stoner's very like against like having child actors, which I kind of go back and forth with, because some of these like child actors do such serious grown stuff, adult stuff. So it's like, yeah, it is interesting to have to like grow up and be like a mature adult when you're not an adult, acting like an adult, working like an adult, being around adults. Because even being around adults when you're like 12, I mean, JoJo was like 6, she's so young. Like,
and when like adults rely on you to make them money, it like, it's the thought of like being so young and then you having to provide for your whole family, or and like not even your family, people who put money into you and then make you a brand. It's like what I was saying earlier, like she's not just a person, it's like a brand and investors and this, that, and the 30, every product imaginable.
Before even her product, like being pressured on like dance moms and stuff like that. Those girls were under so much pressure. God, I would love to talk to like one of the Dance Moms girls and have like a real like interview, like a real conversation, because I idolized it, right? Like I would love to have done that as a kid, but then it's like, God, it does get so dark and stuff. Like you said, having to support, and so many child stars say that too. They were like, buying the houses and yeah, that's like a bad situation altogether. Like you said, a child trying to be a provider. I don't know.
I think the parents is what makes it or breaks it. Because some kids, they really truly passionate about being something.
Yes, I agree.
And some parents are truly passionate about their kid being something.
Right.
And that's where it goes wrong.
Yeah, because in my head, I think, with my daughter, obviously, it's like, she's been offered like commercials and stuff like that. And it's like, oh man, I would have loved that as a baby, right? And it does go back and forth where I'm like, well, she's a baby and clearly she's not like the provider of the family and stuff like that. But it would have to be almost like limiting, like, okay, maybe do like one commercial a year or something like that. And then maybe like, I don't know. I love performing. Like I told you, like the theater, man, if I could have done that for a full living, but maybe it would have changed me.
You were passionate about it. So if for you it happened, would be amazing. Mm-hmm. So if she's passionate about singing, great. But if she's not passionate about singing, it's because I've seen that like in the dance world. I've seen that in parents that
the dance
push
world's
the
crazy.
kids.
The way they push their kids and stuff like that. Like that's why I said with the dance moms, and I watched it, and it's like embarrassing to say because it's like it really was like abuse. Like it really was like triggering them, humiliating them, pitting them against each other. And whether it's scripted and they're in or not, it's still kids acting that way, even if it's fake, which I don't think it is, honestly, in my personal opinion. But it's like, I don't know. It's so gross to me. And I don't know. And she would like yell at them and stuff. I'm sorry. If a parent ever yelled at or an adult ever yelled at my child, I'd be like, what?
Yeah.
There's no like tough love when you're a child. Like, I don't, you know what I mean? Like, not if you're not the parent.
Especially over like, like a hot, like, like an art, I guess, like.
Yeah.
Something that an extracurricular.
Yeah. Or their costumes, like, oh my gosh, you made, she said, your mother's a liar, all this stuff like that, like crazy. I don't know. Watching that is like triggering. That also pops up on my For You page, like dance mom stuff. And that's a good example of like not giving. Anyways, that's my thoughts on that. I don't know. I always feel like I'm sucked into some drama each week. I really try not to be. I mean, I guess it's something to talk about, but I'd rather not talk about me and talk about Ariana Grande or something.
I know.
Oh, man. Sometimes when you are the drama. It's a Wendy Williams quote. I'd ask y'all to respect my privacy, but I want to do that. Which is true. I mean, at the end of the day, it is what it is. I know I've accepted that. So I love Tana. She should be coming back on soon. I have so much stuff to ask Tana. She's always in something. She's always in something. New York Fashion Week. Like, she's just always, there's always something to talk about with her. I was just like, girl, I love it. I love that she's always like into something. I
don't know how she does it though. I'm tired, like just living my life. I can't imagine her life. Yeah.
I go get Chili's and then I go to bed. I take my hair extensions. I used to always have to do let me do ASMR, let me do this, and now, thank God, grateful that this does well. So I'm like, now I can just take out my extensions. Yeah, I can just have a relax. I love TikTok. I do love TikTok, but that's not really work to me. So we have to plan our Halloween costumes. There's a pink skeleton. Why am I saying skeleton? Why did I say it like that? There's a pink skeleton sitting in the chair.
His name.
What? Skellington. Is that from something?
Jack Skellington.
Oh, Jack Skellington. Okay, that's why. Yeah, it's Nightmare Before Christmas. I was like, why am I saying Skellington? There's a pink skeleton because next week is October.
And then we got to be spooky.
I'm
not prepared.
I'm not either. I don't know if any guests are going to want to dress up with me because we have some guests booked, but I'm like, do we take the Halloween decorations out when they come in?
No, they have to sit in it. Yeah.
There's a skeleton right here. We have to figure it out. I have a lot of costumes, but I'm not really like pinned down on which ones when.
I'm just going to be like a ghost, like a sheet over my
What?
Yeah.
You're just not going to be here. You're just like empty chair.
Just zoom in.
That'd be so funny. Yeah, Halloween costumes are difficult because also I have like a family too, so I gotta do a family costumes. I gotta do podcast costumes.
Photo shoots.
Like tan. Next, what is that one? It's like photo shoots, spray tan. Oh yeah. What is it? Lady Gaga.
Yeah.
I was thinking it's Khloe Kardashian club, another club. Was she being serious or was she being memeing?
Lady Gaga?
Yeah.
I think she was being like just talking about how busy she is.
I love that.
I think she's being for real.
Booked and busy, Lady Gaga.
Yeah, especially at that time, like the Fame Monster.
I love hearing. Wait, what? Fame Monster? Is that her album?
Yeah, that was her second album.
I love when people talk about how busy they are on TikTok. It's my favorite thing when influencers are like, guys, I'm so busy today. And like, I get it. Trust me, it is so hard. Like when you have to get your nails done and all it's the hair done, it's a full-time thing, but people are so funny. They're like, I went to the gym and then I went to Whole Foods and then I went to this, like stuff that people have to do on top of a full-time job. That's when influencers get a little attached, and that's why I don't love this generation of like influencers, because like lucky them that they get all the money so quick when they're young, but it's also like, oh God, you do just get a little out of touch when you're an influencer.
Yeah.
And you have to like work, or you don't have to have that grind that's so hard for people to earn money. Like dollars are hard to earn.
Yeah. Someone texted me that they were in like some vacation like last week, and I was on vacation, asking me for something. I'm like, I'm on my one vacation a year after working like 7 days a week my entire life. Like, please don't tell me about your 8th vacation this month.
Yes.
Like BFFR.
Yeah. No, exactly. It's just so out of touch. I know, you should have taken off. I was thinking about that. I was like, you should have just taken off last week. We didn't have to post.
But it was last minute, so it was like we didn't have time to plan.
I was gonna say we could have pre-recorded.
Yeah.
And I think with that, if I have a second baby, I'm just like, do we have hot topics? Yeah, but I'm like, but then we have hot topics, and then I want to go to 3 times a week, and then I'm like, okay, so do I bring my baby with me? Because right after they're born, you have to like bond and be close to them. We were watching something where someone had, there is a podcast. There's a couple that just had a baby, and they had their little like newborn baby on their podcast.
Oh my God.
And I'm just like, it's interesting. The parenting podcasts are interesting. This was a couple. They're really well liked, so I don't want to even come for them, but they were talking about people who name their babies weird names, and I'm just like, why do people have to comment on other people's baby names?
Just name your baby whatever you want.
Yeah, when people are like, we're not into like weird names or something. It was just like, they're a young couple, and I think they had Savannah and Cole on, and because they named their kids weird, they're like, yeah, we talked about people name their kids weird, and then they're like, I bet our names came up or something like that. And I'm just like, why do people have to comment, period? Like, just name your baby something boring if you want, name it something, what's Elon just explained EIO2. He just explained it on someone. Was it Joe Rogan or something I saw? He like, was it? Oh, he was like explaining the name, and he's like, that's from me. He's like, AE is pronounced some other way or something. I don't know.
And I guess if like the child hates it, that like grows up and hates it, then they allow them to change, allow them to.
I always hated my name, and I never changed it.
I hated my name when I was little, but no,
Oscar,
I grew to like it.
Why did you hate it?
I feel
Oscar
like when we grew up, it was very like the basic name, which were like the cool ones to have, like
Jessica. Mm-hmm. Yeah, for girls it was like Jessica, Sarah.
It was like a John or like a Brandon or something like that.
Yes.
Was like the basic. Now I feel like the unique names are cooler to have.
Is
like
Oscar basic?
Trendy. I'm a junior, and my dad is like so.
Oh, okay.
And it's pronounced like the Latin way when my parents Oscar.
Oh, Oscar.
Yeah, you're good.
Oh, I love a Latin accent.
But at the time, I was like, it felt like, I don't know, you're a kid. It feels embarrassing to stand out at that time.
Would you say your name like that?
No, I would just say Oscar. But my mom and my dad say Oscar.
Oh, I love that, Oscar. I think it's so cute. Yeah. I love when people have like pronunciations to their name. Like Moses is Moshe, and I love Moshe, but he's like, no, everyone would always get it wrong, like Moshe, and then he like didn't like it. But I was like, Moshe sounds so cool. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it just Oscar sounds good too. I love it. Oh God, I love a Latin accent. I wish I had a Latin accent.
Well, we'll have to take our DNA test someday.
When are we doing that? My test is literally upstairs. We need to do it. It just sounds like a lot of work to swab.
Yeah.
Actually, it sounds more work to send it in.
Oh, that part's the easy part. You just drop it off in a mailbox.
I hate sending things in. I hate returns. I hate sending things back. I hate sending things in a package. My mom does all my Poshmark for me. It just seems like a lot. All right, guys, that's it for this Just Trish episode. I have a Birkin for sale if you want to buy it. Put me one step closer to keeping my Rolls Royce. We also had sponsors today, so please go check them out. Link is below. We love good support. Be kind to everyone. At the end of the day, it's just drama. Minus the Colleen stuff, that's not just drama, but everything else is just drama. And I'm Just Trish. We'll see you next time. The Wendy Williams song we get sued for copyright.